Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special session of Prestige Encounters. I'm your Dungeon Master tonight, and this is the D&D campaign brought to you by Prestige Gaming Community. You may see that we have a few special guests tonight. They will be able to introduce themselves in just a moment, but let's start with the ones that we already know. So, Nate, would you like to tell us about yourself and your experience with D&D?
Yeah. So I normally play in our Prestige Encounters weekly campaign on Wednesdays. And I was playing a cleric for a good amount of time, and he died. And now I'm playing artificer. I played, I guess, for 3 or 4 years now. And I'm currently sick. So that's fun.
Trio.
Noah, how about you?
Hi. I've been playing since the start of the pandemic. It has absolutely been my self-care since then. I dived into it in a big way. First with a friend of mine who was wanting things to do while Critical Role was on hiatus. And then in the meantime, I decided, you know what, I want to start finding more games to play. So I picked up with you there, Michael, as in last year. I think it was an adventure somewhere in some jungle, and I liked it so much I kept picking up more seasonal one-shots like this. And now I'm playing in the regular Wednesday game, the Prestige Encounters game. Not to mention, for a little while I was playing 4 different games a week plus running a 5th one. Fun fact, I think each player here, bar one, has been in a game I have either played or run. And I'm very happy to play with you all again.
Awesome. Mr. JL Faizon, how about you?
That's me. Hello, everyone. My name is Devin. First time playing with Prestige Gaming, so thanks for having me on board. I've been playing D&D on and off since about 2017, I guess. I've played in a game both with Noah as a player and as a DM, and that's how I came here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Awesome. Nathan.
My name is Nathan. In November of this year, I will have reached my 1-year anniversary of starting D&D. Noah actually brought me into it. We just wrapped up our first campaign just a couple months ago. I joined in late, but I have caught the bug, and I've done one other one-shot here with Prestige. It was a lot of fun, so I'm very much looking forward to jumping in with this group, doing something new, and seeing how spooky, scary the night might get.
Awesome. And Katrina.
Hey, I've been playing D&D for a few years. This is my first time playing it with Prestige. I haven't played with Noah, but he's the one who got me into the game tonight.
Awesome. And last but not least,
something of a theme.
Phantom.
Yeah, I guess I'm the old timer because I've been playing D&D on and off since 2010. Started 3.5. Oh god, I'm old. I started, I remember when cutscenes used to take about 40 minutes to do. Yeah, I've been playing on and off since then. I'm playing SCAD today. Should be exciting. Not my first time streaming, weirdly, for somebody who is generally pretty shy, but we'll see how this goes.
All right. So just a reminder, during this Halloween special one-shot, you all have a new stat that you're going to be keeping track of called your Sanity Rating. It's at the number 80. It's going to be treated as hit points, except for actually being dealt physical damage. You'll be being dealt psychological damage as you go throughout this adventure. If you are to fail a sanity check, I, the Dungeon Master, will make you roll a d20, and that d20 value will be deducted from your sanity score. If you reach 0 for your sanity score, you will be out of the one shot and become a permanent staff member of the Amelial Manor. However, there is a saving grace it is a Halloween one shot, so you may find a piece of chocolate during your adventure as well by consuming this very limited resource found throughout the manor. You will be able to roll a d20, and that will be added to your sanity score. So there will be a lot of sanity rolls because you have a lot of sanity for now, but that is the only special caveat here in this adventure. But in the meantime, grab your goblets and your treats as we were going to sit back here and welcome you to our table as we begin our Halloween one shot of the Amelial Manor. And welcome back, everyone. So, let us begin our adventure. You find yourselves in a forest on a rainy mid-afternoon. The six of you, some familiar with each other, some not, decide it's time to take a rest from the world of adventuring and use the talents that you have all acquired over the several years to serve as members of a noble family's house staff. You each received a letter shortly after applying. The letter stated, "Congratulations and welcome. You have been selected through our vigorous selection process to be part of the prestigious serving staff of the Amelial household. You will find that all those working on the grounds are passionate about their fast-paced and high-energy working environments. Here at the Amelial Manor, we are like a family and can rely on each other in times of great need. Please find attached your traveling arrangements to make your way to the manor grounds within a fortnight. From the station, you will board a coach with the other prospective new staff and be taken to the manor. Signed, Beasley Mortworm, Butler of the Amelial household." And this is where our story begins. You all are in the cabin of a horse-drawn carriage and have been riding for 2 days through a forest. Dead leaves and branches litter the ground, and a thick, sweet-smelling fog obscures the scenery, creating forms that shift and sway throughout the area. There are 7 of you riding inside. Normally this would be rather cramped, but the coach has been enchanted to fit more than the standard amount of people. The seats are fine satin with gold trim embroidery. It's a fine show of wealth.
Amazing what they think of these days.
First we have Ascad. Would you like to go ahead and describe your character?
Ascad is well, normally he would be, one of the more, I guess, fanciful people you might meet, but it seems that he's kind of on the, he's actually pretty normal compared to some of the other people in the carriage with them. He is a dark elf warrior, fled from the Underdark. He's got a pretty severe expression on his face. He's pretty serious looking. He had trouble finding a spot, but he's kind of in the corner, so he can kind of observe everybody else. And so he also keep one eye out of the door. As an elf, it's kind of hard to tell how old he is actually. And he wears. Would he have his uniform already, or would he just be wearing his normal
clothes
attire? Normal clothes. He's got pretty, maybe not extravagant, but they're very well made, well tailored, long coat, and black pants and shiny leather boots. He is, I guess he's unarmed currently. And as he sits there, he kind of plays with this gold coin. He kind of flicks it up and down as he watches everybody else in the carriage with some wariness.
And next we have JL. I'd like to describe your character.
Yeah. JL Faizon is a variant human aberrant mind sorcerer. He has like a very Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders-esque undercut. He's dressed fairly prim and proper, and he kind of looks like a businessman doing business things, very much on his way to work. He's kind of a bit of a, similar to a Scott, I guess, more of a stern look, and he's very much keeping his eye on everybody. And he's fairly gaunt in his facial features. He's quite pale, deep circles under his eyes, kind of a 5 o'clock shadow. And if and when he does smile, which he does do from time to time, he has a right gold incisor tooth. And he has a deep, like an old deep scar kind of around his left temple. He's about 27, 28 years old. He looks like a relatively young man, normal for the most part. But that's JL.
Okay. Nosla Moonhold.
Hey, so Nosla is fully expected to have to walk outside the carriage the whole way there because she was a centaur.
Oh.
But it just happened to be nice and roomy inside, so she's taken up as much space as she wants. It doesn't look as much space as she takes up physically. It doesn't look like her brain takes up nearly as much, which might be a little bit weird for a scientist, but she gets by, whether it's by luck or whether it's through other means. She kind of has drow coloring to her. The bottom half is cream colored with purple hooves and purple blue stars, like a constellation on her back. Yeah, has some piercings, big ears. Yeah, just hanging out.
All right. Trock.
All right. Trock is a satyr, and he's got his fur is brown. He's got short, very curly brown hair with small, tightly curled horns. He's currently not wearing a shirt until he absolutely has to because they're too itchy. But he likes to decorate himself with jewelry. He's got a nose ring and a gold chain connecting the nose ring to his earring because he saw a human do that and thought it looked fancy. He's currently working on a sort of mentorship program through his patroness called the Fey Academic Mentorship Experience, or FAME, where she gave him the opportunity to have a familiar as a sprite to kind of teach this little Fey kind of how the human world is. And he likes to talk about it, and he'll regularly bring up how he was chosen for this cool program and gets to be a mentor. But he also worries about his little buddy, Badger. He wants to make sure he keeps him safe.
All right. And Whitford.
Whitford hasn't stopped smiling since they got into the carriage several hours ago. Whitford is wearing a very wide, disconcertingly large rictus grin, and his skin is kind of gray. It's lined with the stitch patterns all over his skin, especially like deeply along his scalp, as though his brain case at some point has been opened up. And at various parts along his body, the skin tone doesn't really match up, suggesting perhaps a mixed background, you might say. Whitford is, let me see, his lips are kind of like shriveled up and dark and mostly kind of receded into the skull. And he's kind of got a little hunch going on. He's wearing this like kind of tattered black thing that used to be a shirt. But he's a pretty good-natured dude. He's quite happy about moving forward in life, so to speak.
And Mr. Ludwig.
Tressian Ludwig is a very tall, slender, very pale-looking half-elf. He has a fairly large red mohawk and a very long, braided red beard. He is very antsy looking. He looks to be about 21 years old. He looks very, doesn't want to sit still, very into what's around him. He's a bard of a excited variety, and he's been spending his time traveling, trying to do new jobs, do things so he can learn to write music about it. And he heard about this opportunity and thought, you know what, there could be some songs of the working people. So he has jumped into this with the chance to perhaps add to his song of the working people.
All right. So as the storm rattles the top of the carriage rooftop and the soft flopping of the hooves, both ally and working animal, kind of softly sound around you, what would you all like to do?
I'd like to sit by the window, and then one eye is kind of peeking out at the surrounding countryside, and the other eye swivels back to the rest of the party and just sort of lingers on all of their faces.
He'll watch Whitford back as he starts observing the other people in the carriage.
Tressian's just
also kind of reaches out a hand, almost as if to turn the eye back with a finger, and then remembers her not just to do that, and just kind of leaves it. And
when Tressian realizes this man is like looking in both directions, you can see him kind of very confusedly staring, and then he starts kind of like almost mouthing words to himself, and then he starts tapping his foot like it's like he's trying to process something. Like okay.
JL is fascinated. I don't think I've ever been in a carriage with this many different types of people before, right? Like, I think actually this is probably the first time I would have ever seen a centaur or a satyr, and I'm quite surprised at the presence of a drow as well. And then seeing whatever the hell is going on with Whitford over there. Does Whitford smell bad? Like, I imagine Whitford kind of carries the stench of death around with him. Or does he, keep himself hygienic?
There's a very much a formaldehyde kind of odor that follows him around. A bit of hay and straw, you figure, and something earthier, something kind of unpleasant as well. But he mostly just sort of keeps him well preserved.
Okay, I'd like to kind of like, do the windows of the carriage open? Like, can I like unhook a little latch and like push it open and start airing the place out at all?
Yeah.
Or does the enchantment? Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of do that, and then I might cast prestidigitation and put like the scent of roses in the carriage or something, and then just kind of fold my hands over my lap and look out the window. I don't really know how to process all of this.
That's very courteous of you. I think one of the elves broke wind.
Well, why would you assume it was one of us? Now,
Well, who else is
I would-
going to pass wind that smells like roses?
She's very perceptive. Are you sure you're comfortable out there? We could make room.
I am inside.
Yeah. He's like yelling at her. Whoa. Thought you were running along with them.
Not today.
Well, this little adventure's off to a bright start. I'm going to read the name of this butler again because I couldn't believe it the first time and I want to hear it again.
The book that you're reading?
The butler who
butler.
signed
The
yeah.
letter.
The butler is Beasley Mortworm.
Beasley Mortworm.
Is that?
Oh, to be blessed with parents who'd name you that.
I was gonna ask. Is that a normal human name? It's not one I'm familiar with.
Well, in my experience, humans have a variety of names. They come from all sorts of places. I've never met a Beasley in my life until I was interviewed for the position, but he seems like a decent enough chap. Is he a human? Have I met him before?
He is a human. He is older.
Great.
than how he
Okay.
looks, but he is indeed a human.
Okay, good.
Sounds
Dodge
like a
that
very
bullet.
old name.
As you all
Must-
continue your small talk, you do hear a knocking, and you hear, "Oi, perk up, we're here." And Whitford, with your one eye that you're kind of looking out the window, you see outside a very large iron fence, and then a gate that is attached to two cobblestone pillars, with a kind of archway of spun iron that has the letter A, and the gates open as the coach approaches.
I feel at home already.
On the other side, a stone bridge that leads across a gorge to the property of the Amelial family. The manor is large, gray Gothic architecture building with trees full of leaves, with the colors of red, gold, and orange blending to form the beautiful autumn palette. There is a greenhouse barely visible around the back on the left of the property, with a stable mirroring the back right. The grounds are nice, but seem slightly neglected, perhaps explaining the need for a new gardener. And you just sit there for a moment at the entrance to the bridge, and right before you cross, you hear the coach that says, "Here we go," and gives a slight and slaps the reins, and the coach kind of lurches forward and begins to cross the stone bridge.
Terrible shame about their garden, but
Do you suppose the master's fallen on hard times?
By the look of his estate, it would seem so.
I just think whoever was here before had no clue what they were doing. Like, this is disgusting.
clearly not.
I bet there's some good history here, though. Looks pretty cool.
Well, there seem to be quite a few vacancies for members of staff. So perhaps you're on to something there, mister. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. Mr. Man at the window with the eye.
I'm Whitford. Just Whitford.
Just
Some people
Whitford,
try to
then.
call me Whit. Doesn't take much. Usually ends up being Whitford one way or the other.
Whitford it is.
You look like a Jimmy to me.
Well, Jimmy will be fine. You can call me JL, but if Jimmy makes it easier for you, that will be...
I knew it was Jay. Jay something. I have a knack for these things.
You just name people? Do me next. What do you think my name is? This is a fun game. Pick me. Who am I?
Look like a Bill.
Bill?
No, Dick. Must be a Dick.
I don't know.
Isn't
I
that?
really-
Isn't
I think
that
this is a
slang
good
for something?
joke, but no. But I'm Tressian, man. Nice to meet you.
I knew it was that. That would have been my second guess.
You technically you did do two. You said Bill then Dick, but I mean, yeah,
So it's always a roll of the dice in here.
fair enough.
It is at this moment you all begin to hear a creaking sound, followed by popping. You turn around to see that one of the large ancient trees is starting to crack and splinter towards the side that the stone bridge is. Soon enough, the bridge topples over with a groaning sound and crashes through the part of the bridge that you just crossed, and it begins to crumble, quickly falling in your direction.
Oh no, the tree. Think we could save it?
That's
I told you the old gardener was horrible.
So what would you all like to do in this instance?
If we could get that tree upright again and planted quickly, it won't die. Anybody else strong enough to do that?
The bridge is currently crumbling towards the direction of the coach. So like the bridge is toppling into the gorge.
We should get going, guys.
Yeah, I heard you.
Bill,
Maybe we should
How far
exit
away?
this carriage before
How
we
far are we
crushed.
from the edge of the bridge?
Oh, 30 feet.
Oh,
Ooh,
Tressian,
okay.
like, are we moving this thing or what? Come on.
So the coachman
All
is
right, walk this way, and I'm gonna open the door, and I'm gonna like hobble out, and we're gonna like stagger out. Like I'm gonna run to the other side.
everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we
It's too
go.
big.
Supposed to go to these. Ooh, I am.
17.
Rip.
11.
13.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay. So, start with who got lower than a 15?
I did.
All right, who got lower than a 10? No?
I did.
Alright,
You did? You got lower than 10?
Yep.
roll with you.
Yeah, I got an 8.
Okay. So the carriage, at the same time as you all are getting out, you are the last one to get out of the coach, and as it kind of lurches forward, you trip and you stumble and you fall as the bridge continues to crumble and the rock falls out from under you, along with the back wheel of the carriage as well. So now you and the carriage are beginning to slide off into the gorge. What are the rest of you doing?
Oh.
I got a
I'm
4.
quite expendable. Quite expendable.
Along
You
with
hear
your
another
centaur
creaking.
friend. So now there are 3 things. falling off.
Okay, you hear a creaking and a popping sound again as Redford reaches his creaky ass body out, and his like arms are kind of double jointed and kind of pop. He's reaching out to grab the nearest person.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay.
I'm reaching out for that hand. Take my strong hand.
That's a 4. Enjoy the strike.
Good
Lord.
Athletics
So-
check.
You're coming down with me, Noah.
Okay.
So you both begin to fall. Is anyone going after No Saloon Hold and trying to help her out?
I feel like I'm
Tristan's gonna
probably
try.
just, like
He's gonna
halfway stuck in the doorway still. I feel like
Give it
that's
a
how I
try.
did so bad.
All right, go ahead and make a
Yeah,
strength
Tristan-
check.
Tressy's gonna give it a go.
And
Just a
Tristan,
strength
so one of you can
check.
make it with advantage in that case.
Just a check, not a save, you said?
A strength check as you're reaching and trying to grab.
Got a 12.
With advantage?
Yeah.
I got a 17 advantage trying to help him.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, you both managed to grab your No Saloon Hold and pull her out of the carriage just as the carriage and the horses and the coachman fall into the gorge. You managed to reach over and grab both Whitford and Scott. That's the one that was falling, right?
It's me, JL.
JL,
Is
yeah.
Yeah.
And pull them up, and you guys listen as the cascading scream of the coachman goes to the gorge, and then he splatters onto the rocks below.
Oh, the horses. And the coachman.
I guess that's why they need more help
Oh,
here.
man.
Well, with shoddy craftsmanship like that, I wouldn't want it fast.
And
Well, that sucks.
Hmm.
I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Uh,
The greatest hits. Oh no.
16. Oh
19.
no.
Oh, no.
No.
Wow, none of us. We got 3 natural ones. It looks
What?
like.
Oh,
Maybe we should
5.
switch to real dice.
3 natural ones. So, okay. Truck,
Great.
JL, No Saloon Hold, and Scott, I need all of you to roll a d20, please.
Oh, we're about to
I'm gonna nat 20 this thing.
Don't.
And by
This
the
is not a
way,
time.
Whitford, you have been given inspiration, DM's
Inspiration.
inspiration to use at your leisure.
I got
Oh,
a
I
7.
have. Oh my god.
This
Yep.
is the only time you
I
ever want to
cynical.
roll low on a roll
Yep.
20, a
Okay.
d20, so
7, I'll take it.
is this showing up here?
Oh man. I don't know why it's not showing up on D&D or on Roll20, but I rolled a 17.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I got a 3.
okay. So whatever you rolled, go ahead and deduct that from your sanity. JL, you're the one who rolled a 17, correct?
Sure am, pal.
All right. You now have a nervous twitch when you're faced with danger. Whenever you start to recall in this moment, or when you are looking at something that could possibly lead to your demise, you have the instinct to save yourself first, because that was a traumatizing hypothetical situation. Like, that could have been me.
It could have been. Save yourselves.
Well, that's.
Well, it
It's not a
seems
good
the master
argument.
of the house will have to hire a new driver as well.
I'm looking down at the carnage. Nothing a good bit of stitching ought to fix up. Shame that.
It's a bad omen. Ugh.
Just as there is a crack of thunder and a flash of lightning, you all hear a and turn around to see a man standing behind you. You recognize him to be Mr. Mortworm, the butler of the manor, kind of standing out in the rain, holding an umbrella above his head. It seems the bridge has collapsed and taken the life of our coachman. That is unfortunate.
Those were two good horses as well.
Poor maintenance work. Perhaps we should see to it.
I fear this storm will make that rather impossible at this moment in time. But the family is waiting. We must get to the manor and get you out of this rain.
Of course.
Follow me.
JL Faizon, first footman reporting for duty.
Pleasure. You may all call me Mr. Mortworm. My first name is Beasley, but it is inappropriate in every sense of the word to refer to me as such. Mr. Mortworm
Mr.
will be just
Mortworm.
fine.
Yes.
What about Morty? Can I call you Mr. Morty?
Cute. The housemaid that was also hired along with the rest of you has arrived early, and she is also waiting. Follow me. So you all follow Mr. Mortworm up through the grounds, and there is the manor kind of growing larger as you get closer to it. Rather than going through the front door, he makes an immediate right and takes you around to the side to kind of this like pavilion kind of area. And then there is steps kind of lead down to a kind of cellar vibe, but it's actually the servant's entrance. There is a bell there to take in deliveries as well. He's explaining to you the history of the manor as he does so, explaining that this was originally intended to be a large church for the god Bahamut, but due to a number of reasons, the project was abandoned and then taken over by the Amelial family about 2 millennia ago, and then added on the various architecture, kind of creating this asynchronous look to it to be their ancestral home. He leads you into the entrance around the side, and you immediately come face to face with a very busy hallway and the smell of cooking food.
How's the decoration in the hallway? Like, are there nice candlesticks? Like, does the place look good? Because, like, probably as soon as I step in the door, I start casing the joint.
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Man. JL is very different from the cleric I normally play. Hey, 20.
He's into this one.
No decoration or expense for extravagance has been given here. Basic materials. It's the servants' quarters, the servants' hall. Hardly ever do you see the lord or lady of the house down here in this area, the home. He's taking you through the
servant's entrance.
Yeah, the northernmost side of the manor. That's back is facing the cove. There is as you're walking, he goes, on the right is the boiler room, on the left the pantry. If I catch you stealing from the pantry, I will cut off your hands. Moving forward is the livery.
No worries there, master. I don't eat much these days.
Over here on the left once more is my personal pantry, the kitchen, and then your living quarters. He shows you to your rooms. The men and women are on separate sides of this floor, with the kitchen and the main staircase leading up to the main manor and dividing it. Make yourself acquainted and meet me in the dining hall to meet your new co-workers.
Right away.
Yes, sir. Will the master be interviewing us tonight?
You'll be seen to your duties right away. I do not have time to explain them to you. You all should know them by this point.
Of course, sir. Of course. As valet, would I be expected to handle the master's clothes?
You will see to the master personally. You will make sure he is dressed properly for the occasions, including dinner, and have him ready by the bell.
Ah, the sweet satisfaction of purpose.
I hope you've got more than the 2 horses that got trapped in that falling bridge. Otherwise, I'm out of a job.
So I hope you don't expect me to replant that tree. It's gone. Like, I'm good at what I do, but that's a little excessive.
You will
How's it
do
hold
as
the
we
tree?
ask.
Well, I hope you don't ask that.
He walks to a truck, he goes, and he kind of like reaches up and like gently touches the gold chain connecting your ear to your nose. And he goes, "A trinket of yours."
Yes.
And he goes, "This simply will not be acceptable." And he yanks down on the chain, ripping it both out of your ear and your nose. You're going to take 2 points of slashing damage. As like this trickle of red begins to go down your ear and where your nose has a slash torn into it. Get him
Anything
cleaned up
else,
before
sir?
you come into the servants' hall. And he turns around and he leaves.
Seeing that, Whitford's gonna reach inside his coat and bring out this old dusty napkin and like start dabbing it at the wound. Just
Ow, ow.
there now. No sense wasting good blood.
Yeah, I like to keep that on the inside. Did he take the chain or just rip it out?
He took it. He put it in his pocket.
That was real gold. I had to save up for that.
It was discourteous. He should have asked first before slashing.
Well, this job better pay well.
I'm just gonna reach up and take out my eyebrow piercing that I figure he must not have seen because I'm probably way above his head, and just put it in my pocket.
So you get yourselves cleaned up. There are uniforms laid out for you to wear, and you all meet in the dining hall for the servants. All of the servants of the household are lined up. What would you like to do?
Is he trying to make me wear pants, by the way?
Yes.
Oh.
The pants have been tailored to fit a satyr. They instead of rather being pulled up, they kind of snap around the back and then are hidden by a strip of cloth. So they are
Okay, yeah,
very
but they're
flexible
gonna
to
be
your
so
form.
warm. Okay, well.
Is he trying to make me wear pants?
No, I think that would be
Two
a feat
pairs
in
of
itself. But there is a kind of smock for you to put around your waist.
Okay, I'll take it.
You all join the line.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Go
ahead.
let me double check my background real quick. All right, so I was a noble background. Are they organized in any particular fashion? Like,
Make a history check with advantage.
okay. So 19 and a 15, so 19.
19. From the center going outward, you have the women and the men. You have a human woman with this curly red hair, dressed in all black. You recognize her to be a lady's maid, which is above the head housemaid, which is immediately to her left. And then there is she has brown hair, the head housemaid does, and then there's another housemaid next to her with black hair. And then lastly, there is a dwarf with braided blonde hair who looks rather nervous. Probably the new housemaid who arrived earlier. And then you have a woman who is stout and stocky with brown curly hair. She is a dwarf. wearing a apron and kind of a plain gray uniform, and then a small gnomish girl with blonde hair next to her, who's a kitchen maid. So the cook and the kitchen maid. From the right going over, there's a place for Whitford, and then the first footman, which I believe is JL.
That's me.
Yep. And then the second footman, and then the librarian and stable boy. And as the gardener, you kind of are just off to the side of everything else. You're not part of the house staff. As you all take your places in line, 2 humans into the room. You recognize Mr. Mortman and another human woman with a kind of a bonnet concealing her hair, tied down, wearing a long black dress that is wider at the bottom than the housemaid is. Good afternoon, everyone. They all echo. Good afternoon, Mr. Mortman.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
At this point, the dwarf housemaid sneezes, and the woman, the head housekeeper, immediately looks at her and walks over. She goes, "I do not believe that Mr. Mortworm instructed you to sneeze. He said, 'Good afternoon.'" She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Good afternoon, Mr. Mortworm." Very close to the edge, young lady, on your first day. New staff, this is Madame Lever. She is your head housekeeper and is equally responsible for all the staff, particularly the female staff, as I am. You will treat her with the same respect as me and refer to her as Miss Lever. Am I clear?
Exactly.
I will
Nice to meet you,
introduce
Miss
the rest-
Lever.
In what?
I will introduce the rest of the staff. First, we have Scarlett. She is the, Missy. She is the lady's maid to Madame Amelial. Scarlett and Victoria are also our housemaids. Scarlett is your head housemaid. The cook over there is our esteemed Mrs. Portage. And then her assistant, the kitchen maid, is Lucy. Lucy is very young looking, seems to be barely out of adolescence. You do have some time to see about various cleaning tasks and to tour the grounds before we reach dinner time. Make sure that your responsibilities are completed before then, and then we will serve dinner. Immediately following the service of dinner, we will meet here for our meal. Any questions?
No, Mr. Mortworm. None.
At this point, the woman, the housemaid with the blonde hair, kind of raises her hand. She goes, what is for dinner this evening?" Madame Lavore says, "I have had enough of your insolence, your insubordination. You're coming with me." And she grabs her by the ear and immediately takes her out of the room as the girl's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and just leaves.
I knew it was a trap.
Well, you're dismissed.
A question for you, Mr. Mortwood. As my duties are to seeing to the master, does he require anything of me now?
Simply lay out his clothes in his dressing room and see to that he is dressed in time. Otherwise, he prefers to be left alone in his study.
Yes, I see. A great many hungry staff members around, sir. Do a great many of them go hungry?
We do feed our staff an appropriate amount of food.
Very good, sir. I can understand the caution tonight, of course. Never touch the stuff my Food. We'll back away.
All right. So you have the spare moment to look around the manor. What would you like to do?
I assume we know whereabouts we're supposed to go for our tasks.
Right. So the footmen see to general service, particularly table service. Housemaids do not serve in these households. That is what footmen and the butler are for. Right now, mid-afternoon, it should be time for tea, but
Okay.
it has already been served.
How's the kitchen? Is the kitchen looking especially busy right now? Are there a lot of people like busily working in there right now?
There is prep work going on.
Prep work. Okay. Is there space for Whitford to start filling in and pretend to do prep work, but actually just swipe a knife?
Yeah. I mean, you can try. Make a
Okay.
deception check.
Uh-oh. Bad at those. We'll find out.
What are the rest of you doing while he does that?
Are Mr. Mortworm and Madame Lever still around? And if not, does anybody seem to have an eye on the pantry?
They are not in your immediate vicinity. You do not know where they went.
It's a 14 on the deception check.
I mean, it's fairly easy to pretend that you know how to cook. You just start to pick up a knife and kind of slice in at an empty cutting board.
Mm-hmm. And then at some point, I will look up and look as though I'm remembering that I'm needed elsewhere, and I will walk away, palming the knife up my sleeve.
Okay.
And yeah.
Before you do that, though, Mrs. Portage is going to say, "Oh no, dear, let me show you." She kind of takes the knife from your hand and takes some celery stalk, and she begins to kind of, with this backwards rotating motion of the knife, quickly slice. But as you watch, her index finger is sticking out, and she continues to slice, and then goes straight through her finger, and it starts to go kind of as the pulsing of the artery. And she doesn't seem to know. She just keeps slicing the celery.
You might have included a bit more of yourself in your work tonight than you meant to.
Oh dear. You're absolutely sorry. I'm just awfully tired. Lucy, grab me the bandages.
Perhaps,
I need this. Here, you finish this up. She
perhaps
hands you
you'll
back
let
the
me
knife.
take- Of course.
I'll cut it. I'll look down at the blood. Does it look like blood?
Make a nature check.
Okay. I do this with advantage if it's anything undead or whatever. We'll see. All right, here we go. So, okay, that's a 20.
I mean, it seems to be blood as far as you know, like actual dwarven blood. Lucy does take a bandage and kind of begins to mend the finger. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please, Woodford.
Oh dear. 17.
17. It's disturbing, but you managed to keep your wits about you. Maybe that's why they call you Whitford.
Just why they call me Whitford, it's true.
All right, what are the rest of you doing as Whitford kind of takes that knife and slides it up his sleeve?
Is there
Same
any
stats
like
as a short
indoor
sword.
plants?
I'm sorry?
Is there any like indoor plants?
There aren't any here.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of wander and see if I can find any before I head outside.
Okay, make an investigation check as you search the first floor, the ground floor for the plants, indoor plants. Anybody else?
Who's? Well, I'm gonna lean into the nearest staff member that's there and just be like, "This place is kind of old. It's a little bit. Any cool things happen around here when you guys aren't working or anything or?"
So it is a lady's maid, the one you recognize to be Missy, the lady's maid. Sometimes we play cards when we're not busy.
That sounds kind of cool. Is everybody nice that works here, or?
When you do your job right,
Oh,
we're like a
okay.
family here.
Well, that's good. That's what you want from people, right? You know, get along with the people you work with.
I should get going. I'm sorry. I have some stuff I have to do.
Oh, okay. Enjoy your shift.
Whereabouts is the entrance to the pantry? In terms of like how centrally located is it?
So the pantry is located. It's the second room in the basement floor of this house. Where's the map? Yeah, it's the second floor. Go ahead and make an investigation check to see, or a perception, to see if there's anything watching you.
Not very good at these. 11.
11. Doesn't seem to be anyone paying attention to
So,
you.
using the guise of like, adjusting my new uniform and making I look good and prim and proper because of the telekinetic feat, I can cast Mage Hand without verbal or somatic components, and I can make it invisible. And I'd love to just give the door of the pantry a little check to see if it's locked or not.
So since there's prep work going on, it is not locked.
So I'd like to just kind of like crack it open the slightest amount, and then I'd like to kind of walk in that direction, stop as if I forgot something, and then turn around and see what I can see through like the crack in the door.
Make a perception check with disadvantage. I'll let you choose a perception or investigation.
Man, it's a +1 or a +0, so I'll take the perception.
As for the 8 on your investigation check, Miss Nos Moonhold, you go upstairs and you kind of, your hooves are clopping on the tile floor. You find yourself upon immediately entering from around the basement floor into what is called the Saloon. It is kind of the main hall of this household with a staircase that leads up to the bedrooms. It is, where the balls are held, if there are any special events or anything like that. If they have like a guest speaker or a singer for entertainment, that's also where this would be held. It's fairly easy to find some of the plans, mostly in the entrance hall, kind of in these alcoves next to suits of armor that are holding weapons, shields, plate mail, that sort of thing. It seems to be more than decorative. As you're kind of checking out the plants, you do hear a hello.
Where do I hear the hello from?
From behind you.
Is there anyone there?
Yeah, you turn around and you see a small elven girl with black curly hair, wearing a sailor suit. For those of you who don't know, in the around 1920s, they used to dress up kids in these blue and white dresses and pants and shirts, mimicking kind of a sailor. She has brown eyes. You're new here. Are you going to be my new friend?
I can be your friend if you want to, and I'll kind of lean down because she's very tiny.
Kind of tucked under her right arm is a doll. The doll has black curly hair and just, it seems to be missing eyes, except she's taken some sort of colored wax and colored just black dots there. It's wearing a dress similar to hers. What do you think? Do you like her? She holds the doll up to her ear. Yeah. You think so? Maggie's unsure about you.
Well, why doesn't Maggie like me?
She wants to know if you'll give us a ride sometime.
Only if you ask nicely. Because this definitely has not been the first time I've been asked that question.
Janisa just, uh-huh. Make a perception check. While she's doing that, back to the pantry. What was your check? A 14?
With disadvantage, yeah.
So looking in, you see a few jars that appear to be pickling jars, but you don't see what's in them.
I'd like to slip inside the pantry.
Make a stealth check.
Man, why am I asking to do all the things I'm bad at?
All right, and what'd you roll in your perception?
Oh my god.
What was that?
I got a 21.
All right. So as she's leaning, she goes, "What do you think?" Very faintly, you hear the whispers of another little girl. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Damn it. $24.
What?
24.
24. It's weird, but you've seen magic items before. Nothing seems strange about this. And 5 on stealth. So as you begin to open up the door, the hinges are very rusty. It's and then you hear a "Excuse me." You turn around, you see Lucy, the kitchen maid. "What are you doing?"
Who left this door open? I specifically heard Mr. Mortwood say nobody enter the pantry. Why is this open?
Roll
And I'm just
deception.
kind of shouting to the room.
Bluster your way out.
17.
17. Okay, I have to get something from there. Excuse me. She goes,
I'm terribly sorry, Lucy. I didn't realize you were using the room. Yes, of course, my apologies, and I get out of the way. And while she goes in, can I try to get a better look inside the pantry?
make another perception check. Straight roll. Nason, are you doing anything during this time?
Do I know about whereabouts I'm supposed to be going to? Like, do I know where the library or the area I'm supposed to be working in is?
There are 2 rooms referred to as the library. There's the South Library and the library itself. You can enter those through the saloon or the entrance hall.
Okay. Then Trestian's going to make his way towards the main library, but he's going to do it very slowly, just kind of looking around in awe at everything, just kind of checking things out very curiously, like, oh, this place looks kind of cool.
Okay. What'd you roll on your perception?
I rolled a 16.
So looking in, you see the pickling jars, cloudy, like when you can't quite see what's in them. There are a couple of carcasses hanging on meat hooks. Just the torsos of whatever creature this was. You can't quite make out what it was, but they are draining into like this drain below.
Okay. Does everything seem to be kind of like bulk goods? Nothing is kind of like loose or anything like that? Well, it's small kicking around in there.
It's mostly just it's all cooking stuff. It's
Okay.
Crap,
Curiosity satisfied. Fair enough. And then I'll start making my way to wherever Whitford and Escad are, if they've started going off doing the valet and footman duties.
I was gonna do a little bit of exploring myself before.
Ooh, there's the map. I'm probably still lurking around a little bit near the kitchen area. Now I'm seeking out anyone senior on staff who might have an idea what the master likes to wear.
So Make an investigation check. And yeah, so as you're Mr. Ludwig, our librarian, as you are walking up the staircase and enter the entrance hall to get to the North Library, South Library is what it is in this. You do see a small girl with black curly hair skipping away from No Saloon Moonhold. That's all.
Okay. Like, oh, well, this kid's here. Cool.
Before the little girl goes away, can I ask to see her doll?
No, she doesn't like anyone else touching her.
Can I say hi?
Okay, she just holds the doll back closely as she doesn't want you to take it.
I'll wave a hi at it, but I know it could just be a magic item, but I'm also curious if it might actually be alive.
Make an Arcana check.
The doll's real name is Wisdom Save.
Oh, wah. That was a nat one.
You have no idea.
Nope.
Not the magics you practice in, that's for sure.
Nope. Cool, that's it. I'll just say bye to them as they skip off.
So, Treshan, you do enter the entrance hall as this girl's skipping away.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Hey, hi, bye, little girl. I'm gonna make my way. I'm gonna kind of like walk down towards wherever she went off to and take a look and see if I can see where she went.
She went off to the saloon and up the staircase.
Okay. Oh, cool. And he's gonna turn around and try and orient himself to find the library. He's gonna head in there.
So the South Library is where business is conducted, where people are met when they come in for business. Entering this room, you do see a elven man, tall and slender, with brown eyes, with black hair, with gray streaks, and a stern look on his face. He is reading a ledger. He has a scar on his right cheek, and he's wearing a purple coat. As you kind of enter the room, he looks at you, and a kind of gaunt face, stands up, heavily leaning on a cane, and has like a limp in his right leg.
Trestian's gonna run up quickly before he looks like he's coming to be like, oh, hello, sir. Hi, I'm Trestian Ludwig. I'm the new librarian here. You are.
I am the master of this house.
Oh, hi, sir. Hello. I am so sorry. I'm very, very pleased to meet you, sir.
Lord Emilio.
Can I? Pardon?
Lord Emilio.
Lord Emilio. Sorry. First day. I'm very nervous. I'm. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm always looking for work. And is there anything I can do for you, sir, while you're here? Do you need me for anything right now?
Where should you find a librarian?
The library.
He takes his cane and he points to the door immediately to the north. Then you shall find it that way.
Of course, sir. Enjoy your readings, and I'll head over there and make myself at home. And then he'll quickly kind of scurry his way over, trying not to feel totally embarrassed for not recognizing the owner of the home.
At this point, Whitford, you're asking around, and you do find a woman with long black hair, kind of just like standing there.
Hello. I've been sent to press the master's flats and other fabrics as well, and generally look after him. Could you Could you please point me in the direction of the master that I might make my acquaintance?
Well, aren't you a little cute thing? And she kind of ruffles your head and kind of realizes it's kind of a little bit slimy. And she goes, "Oh."
It's a little slimy.
She has
It's a
emerald
little
color eyes,
static.
and she's wearing a pearl necklace with a large emerald set into the pendant in the middle of it. I am Lady Amelial, lady of this house.
A pleasure to meet you. Whitford at your service.
You'll
I am
find
to be the Lord, the Master's new valet, and
I'm sure
indeed
you'll
at your
take
ladyship's
fantastic care
service
of
as well.
him. You'll find everything that he wears for dinner in his wardrobe, in his changing room. The white tie are for formal events only.
See, I know there to be many formal events in the days to come.
Very. He should be in the library about this time.
Thank you. Would it trouble him to meet the new staff, or would he prefer that we go unnoticed until called for?
Well, I'm sure he would love to meet you in due time. He does get rather wrapped up in his ledger work. At this point, you hear I'm so sorry, Miss Lady Amelial. As you hear the crying sound of a baby, and you see a woman wearing a nanny's uniform. But the young master just won't stop crying. He wants his mother. Oh, it's so fine, Nanny. Give him here. Give him here. And like kind of putting into her arms a baby with bright emerald green eyes, no hair. It's a baby. And like kind of like shh, shh, shh. It's all right, love. Mommy's here. Thank you, Nanny.
So close to death, just on the other way around.
Anyway, it was a pleasantry to meet you, Mr.
Whitford,
Whitford.
if you please, at your service, your ladyship, and a pleasure, of course. Right back to you. To anything you need, don't hesitate to ask.
Certainly.
And I'll shamble away. I suppose I'll ooze my way over to the library.
Truck, what are you doing?
So, the less that he has to spend time around these people, the better. He is going straight to the stables, but he is casually looking on his way for something that might help him summon Badger. If he's not really looking to take anything, and he knows better than to get in trouble, but he's kind of keeping an eye out and just gauging how careful they are with their things, and if he happens to see anything along his way.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. No, I got a 3.
I mean, it seems to be fine. Human items are not your specialty, or rather humanoid items are not your specialty in this plane. But seems to be fine. But do you make your way to the stables?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that anybody would like to check out before we move on to dinner time?
Oh, 1 second, sorry. I would like to, while everybody's kind of moving off, sorry, let me look the map here. We're in this area. I kind of wanted to start tapping at the walls, see if I can sniff out any like secret passages as I explore.
Make an investigation check with disadvantage. I'm not quite familiar with this place.
25.
25. So you go around the first floor, kind of avoiding people as you do so, knocking on the walls. You find yourself in the library, where Treshin just entered as as well, kind of knocking along the northernmost wall. It sounds hollow once you get to the a bookcase near the far west, on the northern wall. Trushin, you hear the knocking.
Hello? Anybody there?
I don't say anything. But I'll start nonchalantly making my way back out to like the main hall area, basically, I suppose.
It's a
I guess it's for the-
library.
All right. Anybody else want to do anything before we move on?
I just wanted to go outside to the tree that fell down on the bridge. And because I don't want to have to, from the impression I got from the people here, I don't want to have to try to, replant it or anything. So I'm just going to do the cantrip infestation just to get, some bugs in there, and hopefully it'll decompose a little quicker, especially in this rain, and kind of brush my hands off. Like, that'll fix it, and head back.
Sure.
That's so cool.
Bugs.
While we're before we go anywhere yet, Trestian's just going through the library. He's kind of like taking out books, like trying to make like a little idea of what all these books are. So he's pulling books out, just walking along the walls where there's books, taking a look at things, kind of yanking at random books.
Make an investigation check. So it is approaching dinner time at this point. Winfred, you make your way upstairs to the second floor and start heading towards the study for not the study, the changing room for Lord Amelial. You begin to hear whimpering as you're making your way down the hallway towards the changing room, getting close to an intersection.
Terrible way to waste your life. Water leaking out of your eyes.
You kind of
Where's it coming from?
look forward, and almost as they're laying flat on their stomach, you see a hand reach out into the intersection of the hallway and grab the rug. The hand is bloody. They're kind of pulling themselves across the floor, and you see the blonde hair of the new housemaid. Hair is matted, red, very contrasting to her blonde hair, and she's like tears, sobbing, pulls herself forward, and she looks at you. She goes, "Oh, help me!" And at this point, she lets out a scream as she's suddenly pulled back out of view.
Oh. Okay, like just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
Okay. Whitford would like to just take a moment, excuse me, to breathe in and take a smell and really kind of smell the air for a smell, an old, like, dead smell that he knows very well because it's his smell. The smell of that which really should be in the ground but isn't. He'd like to know if there is something like that, a presence like that in the immediate area. If that's what he just saw.
Make a perception check with advantage.
Okay. That's a 22.
The smell of death is in the air, very faint.
Okay. Did I hear any growls or anything like that from coming through the other room, or was it just her like disappearing into the room?
It's into the hallway. There's like a three-way intersection, and you're going forward, and at the intersecting hallway, she was pulled back out of view.
I would like to go to where I just saw her disappear. I would like to approach, tremulously shamble my foot up the floor.
All right. So you walk up and you look to the right, and you see an empty hallway. Go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Uh-oh. Ooh, that is a 17, sir.
That will fail this one. Roll a d20.
Oh. Ooh. You had to get me eventually. That is a 10.
10. As you're looking down this hallway, you have this feeling that somebody is breathing down your neck right behind you. You can feel the moisture of their breath kind of going down. And every time you look around behind you, there's nobody there. But this feeling that somebody is behind you is constantly there, making you nervous.
Do you know something? Didn't mind being so alone before. Though I suppose this is something I could get used to.
And for just a moment, his smile will flicker, and then resume with renewed vigor, and he's going to go back to the master's chamber. Continue on to the dressing room.
All right. There you are. I was worried you would not show.
Yeah. Pleasure to show Whitford's at your service.
And I'm going to start, looking around for the clothes, knocking things over, putting them back.
Are you all right, Whitford? Seems that you have seen a ghost.
Begging your pardon, sir. Sometimes I wonder if I'm always seeing ghosts. Although that one was particularly vivid. Does this house happen to be haunted, sir? I like to know these things by the time I get into this arrangement. Nothing against hauntings, of course. I don't discriminate. I just like to be aware.
There are no hauntings here. My family has lived here for generations, and no such things have occurred.
Ah, well, perhaps it's early days yet. Perhaps this house will be in for a good old-fashioned wholesome haunting when the right time approaches. And tonight, sir, will it be a formal occasion, sir?
It's just the family. The Emperor is
Just
not
the
meeting us
family.
this evening.
I see, and does sir expect the Emperor in the future time? Perhaps soon. If so, I shall press the ties appropriately.
Not anytime soon, I imagine.
I'll start busying.
Begging your pardon, sir, if I may be so bold, it's very kind of you to take on new staff in these hard times. I couldn't help but notice something of a turnover in the estate.
Well, you know how it is these days. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry just seems that he can go off and be an adventurer and slay dragons and kill things. I don't know. Find rare artifacts. It's not for my taste, but
Yes, of course. Sometimes people have a hard time settling down. Kill, kill, kill. Lots of that going on out there. It wears thin after a while, of course.
so as you put his coat on, you take the brush and brush off the shoulders, get all the lint off. And soon enough, he's ready.
Yeah, GM, real
yeah.
quick. Do I see any hairs on there that don't belong to him?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. That is 17.
There doesn't seem to be any hairs on his coat that are not his.
Okay.
And Whitford, may I offer you some advice?
Of course, sir. Anytime. I'm here, your patient student.
Don't give your heart out to someone unless you truly know they are worthy. At this point, you hear a bell ring throughout the house.
Haven't given my heart out in some time, sir. Lost track of it about 100 years ago.
Trushian and Nosla Moonhold, you are summoned before the bell ringing to the Butler's Pantry.
Quick question: you got me to roll an investigation before that?
Oh yeah,
I was taking...
sorry, the books. Yeah, the books. What was your investigation for that?
I got a 19.
19. You are pulling a number of books, and you actually find something that is behind a classic love novel of this region. It seems to be a leather-bound journal.
Yeah, good to know.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Undercommon.
Okay, it is written in Elvish, but seems to be a different form of Elvish, much older. You can make out a few words here and there, or like rather, it's like someone who speaks Spanish knowing a few words in Portuguese or other Romance languages. Very hard to discern for you right now.
Okay, but I can kind of just figure out a couple things. But he'll take note of where it was, and he'll just leave it where it was, and be like, oh okay, interesting.
All right. So the two of you are summoned, along with Trog, to the Butler's pantry.
Okay. Truck just looks confused. He was hoping he'd just be able to stay with the horses the whole night and not have to deal with people. But he comes.
I am terribly sorry for summoning you here. Perhaps we'll get it right this time. It seems that our new housemaid has quit and has left the grounds. Apparently we were too much for her. So I'm going to need the three of you to make up for the work tonight. Of course, you're still expected to take care of the greenhouse and the stables, but you'll be needed tonight to help with the children, along with the rest of the staff that is new. Mr. Trushion, you'll be helping with dinner service as well.
Yes, of course. Whatever you need.
But how did she leave?
She quit.
Well, yes, I understand, but how did she leave?
What do you mean?
I mean, I thought you saw whenever we got
That
here.
bridge broke.
It's destroyed. Yep.
Oh, you
That big
know
nasty tree?
the dwarvish folk. Good with rocks and such. I'm sure she found a way across.
Sure. But do we get paid more? I guess that's the real question.
Make a charisma check.
Uh-oh.
Truck's ears prick up a little bit. And money.
Oh,
Nice.
that's right.
I am sure we can make up for the extra work somehow.
Perfect. Love it.
At this point, he does grab a rope that is leaned down through the ceiling in a corner of his pantry, and he pulls it down, and a bell kind of rings outside the area. All right, it's time to get ready for dinner service.
You said something about kids. Are we doing more than that? Are we entertaining children?
Just getting them ready for bed is all.
Oh, okay.
And what can I do for dinner service? What would you like me to help with?
You're simply serving dinner.
Okay, sure. You want me to go to the kitchen and get ready for that?
Oh, you're clueless. Take the food that is on the trays that Miss Portage has set out.
Yeah. Okay.
Carry it up for plating by me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Not a problem.
So the footmen, along with Trustian, quickly start taking these platters with silver domes on top of them, putting them on trays. Take them up to the waiting room, and upon Mr. Mortworm giving you the signal, you all follow him out into the dining room where the entirety of the family is sitting. You have Frederick Amelial and Margot Amelial in the center of the table, sitting next to each other. You have a older teenage-looking elf with sandy blonde hair with bright blue eyes. He is George Amelial, the eldest son. You have twins, a boy and a girl. The first one you've already met. Her name's Lynette Amelial, with black curly hair and brown eyes. And then you have Tyrion Amelial, black hair and brown eyes. And then finally, you have the baby, Princeton Amelial, who is not present, but he exists. You all set down the domes in front of the family. Oh, I simply adore Miss Portage's cooking. What is on the menu tonight? So you all set it down.
I guess I'll just reveal what is on the menu and present it, because I don't know what's on the menu tonight. So I will just present it as if it's a pleasant surprise.
As you all lift up the domes, what you see is a white plate with red liquid around it, and then a piece of raw meat in the middle. Miss Portage has prepared steak tartare this evening for your main course. Did not have time for the appetizers, unfortunately. But of course, we will handle that as the moment arises this evening. We still need her to make the food, of course. Oh, it is fine. We weren't that hungry anyway. Thank you, Mortworm.
Does the lady of the house's demeanor change at all when she's like, "Oh, that's fine. We weren't hungry anyway"? Like, does she seem mad at Mr. Mortworm, or does she seem really kind of like elsewhere, like checked out? Like,
make an insight check.
I need a beat on this lady.
Could I examine the meat?
Make a nature check.
I rolled a 13 on insight.
Doesn't seem. In fact, her eyes get a little bit hungry. All of them do. And they begin to eat. They begin
I know nothing about that meat. It's meat.
They're eating with silverware and knives, but as they eat, they become more engrossed and start to gorge themselves. They begin to pick it up with their fingers and like stuff in there, like the liquid from the meat kind of like dripping down the corners of their mouth, and it's ravenous in a matter of seconds. I need all of you present in the dining room during desserts to make wisdom saving throws, please. Anything lower than a 15 fails, as this is quite horrifying to witness.
Who's
Watch that bullet.
I failed. I got 12.
And if you fail, roll a d20.
I'm gonna
That
go
sucks.
insane before I even get to do anything.
20.
What'd you
Okay,
roll?
I got a 10.
20.
I got a
You rolled
13.
a natural 20 on your sanity deduction.
Yeah.
Okay. This is reminding you of an adventure in which you saw your dearest friend be consumed by cannibals. This is, you're getting flashbacks pure horror. When you look over at your Whitford for a moment and your other new hires, something has changed in their eyes. They flashed almost like a cat for a moment, or demonic. You don't feel like you can trust them right now.
Is Ascad still in the room, the other footman?
Yep.
At that point, kind of watching these guys chow down on this, I'd like to use my telepathic speech feature, and in Ascad's head, he would just hear, "Hey, buddy. Buddy. Yeah, you. It's me, the other footman guy. Can you hear me?"
Just for the lulz, I will. I won't waste that just yet. You'll see him, if you look at him, he'll kind of raise an eyebrow, but he doesn't really seem very surprised at hearing voices in his head.
Yeah, I figured.
But he responds, yes.
All right. So what's your game? You casing this place out too?
Could I insight him on that?
Yeah, you can make an insight check.
Cool. 17.
He seems to be genuinely curious if you have mutual interests with him.
Okay. His other eyebrow will go up, but then he'll kind of school his features back to like impassiveness. Not especially, but his eyebrow will go back up again, looking at these people. I wouldn't stand in your way. Perhaps even help you for a small cut.
I was hoping you'd say something like that, cause listen, that shit with the bridge and what we're seeing right now, there's something wrong with this place. Now, don't get me wrong, professionally, it's a gold mine for, business purposes, but I think we need to be on our toes for the night, and I think maybe you and I should stick together. And he's super weird, but what do you think? Should we bring old Frankenstein over there into it, or what?
He seems a good fellow. I don't know if he would be amenable to robbing his place of employment, but
yeah, you're right. He does seem like a real company man, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know what I signed up for. I kind of do this. I kind of ingratiate myself with serving stabs in case the place out for a couple of weeks before I make my move, but I don't like this place. I think we need to try to get the hell out of here tonight, maybe. But
I'm not opposed to that. So these are elves?
Mm-hmm.
Could I guess, pull up some knowledge about elves? Would this be of any type of elf behavior that I might recognize, or are they just buck wild?
Make a history check.
Cool.
Do a buck wild check?
And just for your heads up, Phantom, you and I can speak telepathically with one another as long as we are within 3 miles, and we can do it for 5 minutes.
Nice, I have one of those as well, but mine's only got out to a mile.
Okay. Mine scales, I think, as my level goes up, and so at level 5, yeah, it's 3 miles, 5 minutes.
Nice. It's good to know. I'm also not alone in being able to just talk to people in their minds. But I did roll a 15 for my history check.
What for yours? 15?
15,
Traditionally,
yes.
elves have been vegetarian, but since the Varlarian Empire took over the Amelial Forest Range, They kind of adapted and been, what's the word, when a culture gets absorbed by another, assimilated into that, and they have to keep up appearances. See, I've gone into being omnivores.
I'm assuming the kind of ravenous way that they're eating though is not normal.
It's definitely odd. It's not as proper as they should be. How much they're eating.
You know what? So is me, Whitford, and JL correct in here, right?
And Troc.
And Troc. I am gonna use Psychic Whispers to see if I can get all of us in here. Oh no, I have 3, so so I didn't even have to roll for that. I just roll for how long this lasts. Okay. Yes, I am going to use Psychic Whispers, and I can, as an action, choose one or more creatures I can see, up to the number of creatures equal to my proficiency bonus, which is 3 right now.
Okay.
And that shall be, you said Troc, Whitford, and who else was in here? JL. So we're all in a communication together. And this will last for, I believe, 1d6 as soon as I roll it. For 2 hours, we can maintain psychic communications.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Soul Knife. And I get the first one for free, which is really nice. So he'll kind of clear his throat and say, don't act surprised, but I've given it some thought, and as I'm sure the rest of you are considering as well, these people are not normal. I think
How can you
perhaps,
tell?
I hate to tell you, but elves don't usually act so ravenous.
Thought it was an aristocrat's thing.
Neither that. Being
During
an
this
aristocrat
conversation,
myself.
you begin to hear this hush conversation between the Lord and Lady Amelial. Like, honestly, dude, I don't know why you're being so ridiculous right now. He goes, I am not being ridiculous. And as he slams his fist down onto the table, for a moment, all your vision flashes, and what you see is a very dimly lit room for this bright, extravagant silver plants. The candlesticks are covered in cobwebs. There are shadows dancing around the room, or like walking around the room in humanoid shape. Very unkept, dilapidated, rotten. And it's just for an instant, and then it goes back to normal. She goes, fine, if that's how you feel, I'll be sleeping in my changing room tonight. I know what you did, woman. And do not be mistaken. You will face my wrath for it. She gets up and she leaves.
As I said, perhaps an expedient exit would be beneficial for all of us.
What it's worth, I think he's onto something. I think we all signed up for something, but we didn't read the fine print, if you know what I'm saying.
There was fan print.
There's always fine print, my weird little friend.
Oh, first time I've been called little today.
Vigorous speech. I know you're bigger than me, but also it's me, by the way, the footman. Don't be
Wouldn't
thrown
tell.
off. Don't be
I
thrown
thought
off
you
by
was-
the voice. No, that's
I
just
thought
my
you was the
professional.
centaur.
You think I fucking talk like that? Nobody talks like that. Oh, hello, sir. Can I get you anything today? Come on, man.
Indeed. Real quick though, could I ask guy to close his eyes and try to recapture like that flash of whatever that was?
Yeah, so make a wisdom check to see if you can quickly capture this.
That's probably a if.
That's
That's
enough.
12.
Yeah, so 12, that will work. Like, you know, it was very odd. There were shadows, you were kind of looking around the room, it seemed like. but it's overall odd.
And you said there was like, it was almost like an overlay, or maybe not like an overlay. It was like, so he slammed his fist down as a flash, and then for like an instant, the entire room was
would be
changed.
the best way to put it. Even though it
Okay.
may not explicitly be one, an illusion.
Okay. He's gonna bring that up then. He's gonna say, did anybody else happen to see that? I'm not wasn't very good at magic, but did anybody else seem to notice that flash of something when he slammed his hand on the
Curious.
table?
Curious ethereal disturbance that somehow shook the barrier between what is and what could be. Perhaps a distant echo of memory manifested by some ectoplasmic agent. Possible source somewhere down in the cellar. It's usually down in the cellar.
Damn. I gotta think about hiring you as my assistant. You seem to know quite a bit about this stuff. But yeah, that's one way to put it. I saw it.
Was I talking just now? It's hard to know sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
It's head stuff. Don't worry about it.
Perhaps this'll last for a couple hours still. Perhaps after this we can discuss in person when we're not. Go.
DM, real quick, just a question. In the chaos of their ravenous, cannibalistic masticating, have they been brushing aside any silverware? Any of that clattering onto the floor? Any knives?
Make a perception check as you're looking around the room.
Sure. That's a 16.
16. Yeah, some stuff does fall onto the floor. There is a candelabra that has like a very like a the part where the candlestick goes into, and then a blunt end. You kind of hold it from the candlestick part. It can almost be used as a hammer. A sharp knife does fall clatter to the floor. Some other items.
I wish to pick it up to make sure that nobody steps on it. It's a safety hazard.
Okay.
I think I should ask before we start eating, and this kind of goes back to the nature check slightly. How big were the steaks that they were served?
They about like the size of like an 8-ounce sirloin would be. If I'm using my restaurant knowledge correctly, about that size.
But young girl sized?
Just
Yeah, I was
about 8
just
ounce
like,
flanks, cuts.
because there was I didn't go to Pantry, so I don't know what's in there. Yeah, this place gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like this. Not one bit.
You guys hear and you see Mr. Mortworm saying, "Can't you see that dinner is concluded? Clean this up."
Yes, right away, Mr. Mortworm, sir. Pardon me, Lord Amelial, Lady Amelial, and I'll start busking the table.
Yeah, I'll help. I'll go to the children. I'll start taking their plates.
Tressian very uncomfortably just takes the nearest plate in front of him. It's like,
All right, so you all collect the plates and you take them downstairs. You do have some. You now are able to eat your meals, but you are not able to eat your meals until the butler joins you at the head of the table. So you all sit there for a while. 30 minutes pass. 45 minutes pass. He has not shown up.
I suppose one of us might want to go look for Mr. Mortwood. I'll take that upon myself. I'll return shortly, and I'll.
I was going to suggest perhaps we should travel in at least pairs until we ascertain exactly what is happening here, and if our lives are indeed in danger.
Is that up here in the head?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll-
are we alone, or like are they other servants with us that we aren't we didn't arrive with?
The ladies' maids, the ladies' maid, the housemaids are all there. Everybody except for the cook and the kitchen maid. They eat separately.
Okay. So he'll say something slightly different out loud then. Would you like some company? I could use some more time to familiarize myself with this place.
Yes, company would be fine. Please, by all means.
He'll nod, get up, and follow JL out.
All right. So what are the two of you doing?
Once. What does happen? Let me drop.
So we are. So the dining hall was here.
This is a different floor. The basement floor is the servants' part of the house. The servants' hall is right next to the staircase that leads up to the serving hall or the waiting room. What is it called exactly? The waiting room.
The waiting room, yeah. Okay.
The butler's pantry would be across the kitchens through the hallway on the other side next to the housekeeper's sitting room. They both get their own like office space kind of area.
Oh, interesting. Is anybody around?
Make a perception check.
May I assist him?
Yeah.
I am proficient.
So do it with an advantage.
Hey. 13.
13. So looking around, doesn't seem to be anyone around, but on the other side of the door for the pantry, you hear muffled shouts. I know what you did, and I will have justice for it. You betrayed me, Mortworm.
Whoa.
Was that the sound he made?
Kind of, yeah. Like, I'll just gotta be like, oh, and I'll be like, yo, don't you hear that? Something's going on in the, like, yo, we should hide.
Perhaps that is best.
Are there any boxes or like side tables or like barrels or whatever in this part of the servants' kind of basement near where the pantry is? Like, if I were to like put my back up against the wall and then like sit down so that I'm kind of in like a tucked position and cast like minor illusion to make myself look like a barrel, would that barrel look really out of place? Okay.
Here.
Big plus
My lord,
0.
I would never
4.
betray you. I swear. He just don't lie to me. And what was your investigation?
Yes. It was a 4.
Or you can't find a place. He goes, my lord, what are you doing?
Play it off.
I am doing what I must. My lord. And you hear this like gurgled sound, and then sound of something dropping onto the floor.
He'll like slap his chest, like, all right, and he'll motion backwards. And he'll just turn around and just fucking.
At this point, the door swings open and Lord Amelial steps out. And he's like adjusting his coat. And he's like, "Oh, hello," and that is where we'll take our mid-session break.
Well, I guess we're the first two to die. It's good knowing you. You can't see it, but I'm saluting.
Stand unshaken.
So everyone, we will see you soon. We're gonna refresh ourselves. See what the secret of the Amelial Manor is when we come back for part 2. Yeah, stick around. If you haven't hit that follow button yet, hit the follow button. It's great. So see you soon. And welcome back, everyone. So where we last left off, Lord Amelial opened up the door on 2 of our staff members, seeing that they may have been listening in on the conversation. What are you doing here?
The minute that Lord Amelial steps out of the pantry, I'll be like, yes, and I think the next time when the meal is done, we should try to be a little bit more. Oh, Lord Amelial. Hello.
For
What a...
clarification, it's the butler's pantry he stepped out of, which is where the wine is stored and such items.
What a pleasant surprise to see you down here. I'm J.L. Faizon at your service. I'm your new first footman, and this is my colleague, and I gesture toward Ascad.
He'll bow and he'll look up and say, "I'm Ascad. I am your second footman. We were on our way to talk to the butler. In fact, the rest of us were waiting for dinner, and we were just wondering if he was all right."
Make a deception check with advantage.
I mean, that's what we came here for, because we are hungry.
Yeah, you're trying to hide something, though.
Oh, thank God for advantage. Why do I not have anything in deception? Oh, thank God for advantage, because I rolled a 17. That would have been a 2.
He looks at you and he says, he is busy right now, and he closes the door behind him.
Mm.
You can have dinner without him.
Indeed, my lord.
It seems like there's like a slight, best way to describe it is like a glitch where like his form shifts and he has these black streaks of like almost like heroes coming down from his eyes and his nose. His skin is suddenly much more paler, but it like shifts back and he's like looking at you. He's like, "Is there anything else?"
No, my lord. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to give us that permission. We very much appreciate it.
He'll bow and try to calmly walk out.
And then kind of when he leaves in a very low voice, I'll say to Scott, like, "Yo, I think that Butler guy is dead."
No doubt. I think an expedient exit is indeed the smart play.
Well, wait a minute. Don't we want to know what's in that pantry? I mean, the first thing he fucking said was when we got here was, "Don't go in my pantry." And now he's not around anymore. Should we go check it out?
Although my curiosity is also piqued, I think our lives are more important than riches at the moment. If we cannot walk away with them.
Yeah, all right. All right, let's go back.
Perhaps if we have time, I would not be opposed to it, but I think with us under suspicion, potentially under suspicion, perhaps we should keep a low profile until...
Yeah, that's right. Keep our noses clean. Yeah, I got you. It's good thinking. Let's just go back and say we could eat without the guy.
Yeah, perhaps we should inform the rest of the people that we were serving dinner with. At least they at least know that there's something very wrong here, and we have more proof.
All right.
So has 2 hours passed since dinner yet, or are we still in communication?
You got about 30 minutes left to it.
All right. So that was me, JL, Whitford, and Treston, I believe. Or sorry, Ludwig. We're in the. But yeah, no, Treston. Yeah, we're in the call.
Yep.
Cool. So as we're walking, actually, I'll wait till we're settled a little bit here, or at least farther away from Lord Amelial. But I will say across the link, remain calm, but the butler is dead. By the odds.
Oh, poor thing. You think he'll get better?
I don't know if there's any unlife for him, but I believe it was Lord Amelial that killed him. I think what we were discussing before, we should definitely try to enact tonight, if not tomorrow, as soon as possible. I don't know about, well, I can't speak for you, Whitford, but I believe the rest of us would like to keep on living, and perhaps you keep living your own life.
It would be nice. Oh. Well, I suppose there's one thing I've learned about death. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, so like, what's your deal? Are you dead? Like, who are you?
I'm Whitford.
Yeah, I know what your name is, but like, Why are you stitched together, a bunch of different people? Like, what? How did you even get this job?
That I suppose I been in service to one master or another for the last little while. Not really sure how it all started. As far as I can tell, I'm a sort of put together kind of person. You might say I'm a bit past my expiration date, but it hasn't slowed me down much. As far as what's going on here tonight, I think there is something of the touch of death about this place. Ordinarily, I wouldn't mind, but as far as I can tell, it's you people who feel unsafe. And, don't think I can abide that very much. Or at least certain parts of me can't.
I think perhaps it would be best to put aside those concerns. We all arrived here together.
Well, to that effect, I started gathering some supplies, and I start showing off the candelabra and the steak knife and the kitchen knife from earlier. Think I might be keeping this one, but help yourselves if you fancy something that might help you feel a touch safer.
Is there
What about
cutlery on the table, DM?
I'm sorry?
Is there cutlery and stuff on the table for us to eat with?
They're wooden. It's at this point, the housekeeper, Madame Lavore, steps to the room with her, the housemaid. She goes, I've gotten word from Lord Amelial that we may start our dinner without Mr. Mortworm. He is busy for this evening. So, Miss Portage, and they kind of bring out these plates with the same flanks of, meat that were served at dinner. These look to be less desirable cuts, more like flank steak rather than the ribeye sirloin cuts. So you may all enjoy your meals, and then you're free to do what you wish for the evening. Not squander it.
That's very generous of you.
Oh, sorry, you said there was porridge and the steak?
Miss Portage is the cook. Portage.
Oh, okay.
It's cooked the same way they had it, very
Tartar.
Trusty's gonna be like, is there any chance I can get this cooked a little bit more, or?
Is there like a fireplace in the room by any chance?
Not in this room, no. There's one in the dining hall.
Quick question. So having been present for dinner, seeing that weird flash of whatever, and then again with the Lord of Amelial just now, could I something's off. I know that much. I feel like it's magical. Could I make a check to that to try and suss it out? Because I don't think he would trust the food, especially if it looks like it's the same meal of from the same whatever that was served to the family.
Make an Arcana check.
I'm alright at that. Let's see what happens. Nope. I don't know Jack.
What'd you get?
8.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So I know something. Mm-hmm.
Metal Vor does re-enter the room. She goes, and by the way, new hires, I expect all of you to go help with the young master. He can be quite a handful when being put down for bad. Nanny will need all the help that she can get.
Oh, the poor young master's awake, is he?
Indeed. So finish your meals and head straight up there immediately.
Right away, Madame Lever. Right away. And so I will do kind of like like a little like prayer or something that involves my hands, and in like deep speech, like the deep speech version of like nomine Patri, Filio, Spiritus Sanctum, and whatever. And I'll cast prestidigitation on my meat to make it taste like, I don't know, spaghetti or something good.
Okay.
Are we eating now as well?
Yep, everybody's eating.
And
No,
it said
he's
there.
not. Whitford pushes his plate away and starts offering it to someone else. It's
And you
wasted.
said there is a fireplace in the dining room.
In the dining room, yeah.
Yeah, but we're at the servants' quarters, basically, right?
You're in the
what are
servants' dining hall.
A servants' dining
Which
hall.
is
Okay.
what?
Below
Where's
the
that?
dining room.
Okay, so no fireplace in this one.
No.
I
What's
have a
the floor
request.
made out of? Stone or wood?
The floor that you're on is stone. The floor above is braced with wood. And then there's tile on top.
Okay. I have a request. I would like to have a look around for any trays that I might be able to stuff down my shirt as a kind of makeshift breastplate.
Make an investigation check.
Batman 1989 style.
Is there any like basil or garnish on the meat?
So,
Make a performance check. See if you can, pick apart this culinary masterpiece. What'd you get there, Whitford?
well, Whitford rolled an 11 on the investigation check, and then he channeled some knowledge from a past life and rolled a 1 on the d6, so that's a 12 total.
So looking around, you kind of are looking around the room, the kitchens, can't find a tray. So you get down onto the floor, see if anything may have fallen underneath, and you find a small foiled wrap piece of chocolate.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ugh. Do you think it tastes good? Oh, I'm gonna pocket it.
Mm. With seeing me in front of me, could I, before I start biting into this thing, could I re-examine it?
Yeah, make a nature check.
Cool. I'm going to use my psi-powered knack. What is this called specifically? My psi something. Yeah, my psi-bolstered knack to add a D6 to that.
Okay. DC is high. I'm gonna let you know that. Not high, but
19
like
total.
19. Okay, that will succeed.
13 plus 6, yeah, 19 total.
Yeah, so you like lean down, you start to like pick apart this this cut of meat, and you kind of lean down and you find something on the like kind of within the grains, and you pick it up, and it is a 3 strands of blonde hair.
And the woman that got taken away was
Blonde.
Blonde.
So I'll speak over the link, and I will say at best you probably don't need that beat. I believe it is a former colleague.
Upon learning that this is dwarf flesh, I need all of you to make wisdom saving throws.
I wasn't eating it. Am I exempt, or shall I still make one?
If you
I'll do it
took a
either way.
bite of it, it's with disadvantage.
Oh man, I got a whole chunk of it in my mouth.
I didn't fight it. I was uncomfortable.
At least it tastes like spaghetti.
Mr. Prestidigitation.
Yeah, it did taste like spaghetti. Yeah. That's good, dwarf. That's good eating.
Louder just to the couple of you that are mind linked.
I would have said that out loud.
Okay.
Unless, yeah, no, I would have said it out loud. That's probably something worth
Anybody
speaking
who
out
got
about.
less than a 15 on your wisdom save, please roll a d20.
All right.
Just made the cut.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Hey, not bad, not bad.
23.
A 9.
A 9?
23.
Yep.
All right.
That's 54.
Ooh, you're going to get a quirk.
Oh, my second quirk.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray.
So, you kind of look and you're like looking at the dark corners of the stream, and you start to feel nervous. Like if you were to step into the darkness, something might snatch you and make a tartar meal out of you as well. Whenever you are in any light that is not considered bright light, you are considered frightened. and your attacks are made with disadvantage.
Rip.
Oh.
Nice knowing you.
Okay.
Is there any like in this? It's cut like a steak, but is there like any bone or anything that's like a sizable piece of bone that I can see in my piece of meat?
So I mean, there is bone in yours. Seems you might have gotten a rib portion.
Okay, Trescian's he's gonna kind of scrape at it a little bit because he's uncomfortable with what's happening, but he's gonna try and like scrape the meat off because now he's really uncomfortable, and he's gonna like, how big of a bone is it? Something he could like?
A bone shiv? Is that
Yeah, basically he's trying to take it. And
Oh yeah, if you were to pass a successful, we'll say, do you have any tools that you're proficient with?
Not that's gonna help right
So
now.
an intelligence or wisdom check, because you're making a shift that requires street smarts. If you can pass a DC 12 wisdom check.
Okay.
No proficiency because you don't have tools for it. You can make a shiv out of this bone.
Okay, here we go. Perfect. 16.
Yeah, I mean you have a bone shiv. Same
Awesome.
stats as a dagger.
Dagger, awesome.
So earlier I asked if there were any herbs.
Yeah, what'd you roll
Cooked
for
with
your
the meat.
performance?
26.
Yeah, there are definitely herbs with this meat.
Okay.
You get some like
I'm
full basil leaves, some rosemary.
Okay. I'm gonna take those and say, does one of you have prestidigitation? Can dry these? I need to be able to burn them.
Trescian can. He'll be like, yeah, I guess I can help out if it's gonna help with stuff.
Well, it'll help me.
Oh, okay. Right. He'll do that.
That's been in someone's body. Do you think it might affect the smell?
I don't have a lot of options at the moment. I hope not.
Mostly ask out of academic curiosity, mind.
I guess I can tell you here when we have our free time.
Have you all still not finished your meals? Nanny is waiting.
Okay, no, I'm done. I'm definitely done.
It was delicious. I simply had not enough room in my stomach for the whole thing. Thank you very much, Madam Liver. I'm going to go off and look after the young master now.
Careful, the steps are dark at this time of night.
What is
Thank
that?
you
I
very
don't
much
say
for the
this
heads
to her, but what does that mean?
Means we'll have to watch our step. Won't it?
No, I didn't say that in character. I'm just, but I've kind of got this look like, okay.
Before we leave the kitchen, DM, is there any chance if I look around I can find a salt shaker?
Yeah,
Or
that's easy
something.
enough to find. Your passive investigation will cover that.
Okay, well I'm gonna grab a salt shaker or two on our way if we're leaving.
Okay.
Before
Oh,
we leave the kitchen, DM, any cutting boards might suit my purposes for a makeshift breastplate.
I might need
I would
a
consider that the
pinch.
same stat as leather armor, though.
Oh yeah,
More.
sure, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I might need a pinch of that salt there.
Jeez.
Did I find something?
Yeah, you found a cutting board.
Ooh.
Trying to think what would be in a kitchen. I have no idea. I should know this, eh?
If there's like
Plenty of
serving
cutlery,
plate?
utensils.
What
Is
was
there
the
any
question,
cutlery
Miss
that's not
Moonhold?
wooden?
What was the question, Moonhold?
is there like a nice big serving plate,
Yeah.
kind of like a charger that goes underneath?
Yeah.
Can I use that as a makeshift shield?
Yeah. While you guys are just like right in the kitchen, Miss Portage does enter. She goes, "What are you doing?"
we're putting our plates away. Are we not supposed to clean up after ourselves?
Well, make sure you clean up. I'm tired. I really have to go lie down.
Yeah, but don't worry. We'll take care of the young master. You earned a rest.
Oh, he's a
Have
darling.
pleasant dreams.
All right. So are you all heading up to the young master's room?
Indeed.
Yep.
Yes. Any blood along the way, I'd like to just sort of scrape up and just keep with me a little bit. Just a little touch, a drop of blood. I'm gonna keep that in a little like folded up napkin.
You can
Stuff it in my
find
pocket.
that in the plates that you were just served, so easy enough.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you all head up the stairs. You get to the hallway of the first floor, which is the second floor for us. First floor, because this is aristocracy. You're like stepping through this hallway. It's dark. The moonlight is shining through the windows, kind of giving light to these statues of armor in the hallway.
JL kind of freaked out. Will be like, I don't like the dark. And I'll like dig into my breast pocket of my server's thing and I'll pull out my loaded dice. And I will cast light on one of my dice and kind of hold it like this so that it like is a big old flashlight.
So as you cast light, the area around you illuminates, and right in front of your face is the face of Lady Amelial. And it kind of shocks you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh dear.
As you get shocked and fall back.
Oh, hello there.
13.
13. As you trip back over your own feet, you kind of reach up for something to grab, and you slice your hand on a sword on one of these suits of armor, straight
Ouch.
across the palm. You're going to take 2 points of slashing damage. Oh dear, I'm so... Did you hurt yourself?
Lady Amelial, no, please don't apologize.
She knows how she goes, oh, no, let me have a look.
Very well. And I'll present my cut hand to her.
She grabs it, she's, oh, this just won't do. And she, like, pulls the hand closer and closer, and she sticks out her tongue and licks it up your wound. Now, isn't that better?
Is it?
Thank you very much, Lady Amelial. That's incredibly kind of you.
And for a moment, you see that her eyes just go completely white and gone. And it seems that, like, I'm gonna have to make you do another intelligence saving throw this time.
Oh man, even worse than wisdom.
Oh, no.
Why did I play a sorcerer? That's a 7.
7. Yeah, roll that
Oh,
d20.
no.
Oh man, okay, here we go. Come on, natty 1. Oh, that's a big 6. Not bad. I'm down to 48.
Okay. You be careful in the dark and watch your dancing to, my lovely dear. Get that bandage, okay?
Did
Lady
the rest of
Amelial,
us see?
I will.
Oh, you saw her lick his hand. You didn't see the face thing.
Okay.
That's
Fraternizing with the lady of the house, never very good for job security.
That was strange. Or is that something humans normally do? Or
No. That's not something we normally do. That was really, really strange. Whitford, what are you talking? I didn't fraternize with nobody. I cut my hand and she licked it. What are you talking about?
Very friendly. I'm not judging. Just offering friendly advice from one colleague to another. DM, did anything about that like weird ass site trigger any memories from Whitford's knowledge of like monsters and the undead? Like, does that look like anything he'd seen before?
Make a nature check.
Okay.
Can I jump in on that? Does that seem like any subjects I might have?
You can do it
dealt
with
with
advantage
before,
since
or-
you're being helped.
Ooh. Happily. I was already gonna make it with advantage. Here we go. Natural 20 for a 23.
Nice.
There are a lot of creatures that enjoy the life essence, whether material or which blood is your, your physical form of life essence versus a soul, which is, your spiritual. It is possible that this might be an undead situation. It could be fiendish as well. It's definitely not elvish what just happened. And it's very strange. It's these flashes that have happened of seems like clarity, the behavior, you're starting to piece together something. You just can't quite put your grimy little reborn fingers on it.
Oof.
The material plane is really weird.
Material plane? What are you talking about? Where are you from?
I'm a fae. I'm a satyr. Hello?
I knew you was something, but forgive me, I'm not much of a reader. You're from the Feywild? You're a long way from home, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree, though. The overworld here is quite strange.
Oh yeah, and you're from down there. Jeez. All right. Does anybody
gotta put it like that?
Does anybody have any idea why that woman just licked my hand? Anybody?
I think it's quite possible that what we are dealing with here is some kind of parasitic life form or some other creature.
Yeah.
Either emanating from one of the very many organisms or multiplanar regions many call hell, or else something that might inhabit the prime material plane, perhaps from some demonic ancestor. Could possibly
Probably
be
not for any other reasons I'm familiar with.
Currently, my theory is vampire, but I might go for ghoul or ghast if I see something uglier than we've seen thus far.
Fantastic.
So it's just the 6 of us here right now?
Yep. She walked away.
Okay. I'm still gonna speak in a low tone though. So I think after that, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think leaving is something we should do once the family and all the other servants have retired to sleep.
Well, what's you said there's armor in the area, and there's some swords on them. He's gonna be like, is there any reason we just wouldn't grab a sword or two on our way through, just in case? Then
I don't see why not.
Just consider that the lady of the house just suddenly appeared in front of you without any warning. And they seem very particular about their stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable at this point, so I don't know. I guess.
Well,
would you?
What I mean is, don't make yourself so obvious.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Just a sword might draw some attention.
Let's just keep in mind where these are then, in case anything happens.
Could I peek at the armor and sword? Is this ceremonial, it's just furniture? This wouldn't actually stand up in a fight, or is this actual?
Make an intelligence check.
When you say inconspicuous, do you mean I gotta put the light out? I really don't want to do that. I'm keeping it up.
That didn't seem to bother them.
Well, she popped out of nowhere as soon as I turned it on. I mean, maybe she was just coming down the stairs. I don't know, but and then I start very like a scared kid in a Scooby-Doo or a Hardy Boys novel. I'm just moving the flashlight around.
So 13. The sword can definitely be used to as a normal weapon.
Okay. I shall point that out to the rest of the party.
You do notice that in the shield, though, it is definitely decorated. There's a very large gemstone embroidered into the center of it.
Could I make another check to examine that specifically?
Going off your intelligence check, it's a valuable gem. Could be used as a focus, perhaps.
I'll kind of walk up closer to it. I'll kind of eye it. I'll point. I'll kind of shift my body kind of out of the way, and I'll point at it. I'll be like, do any of you magically inclined folks happen to know what if this might be useful for us to take later?
Oh,
It could
damn.
be,
I'll have a look at it.
So if any of you are spellcasters that need a focus to cast your spells, this would be one of those. Focuses are used in lieu of material components, except for ones that require gold.
Right.
That's a good point. Nobody has a. Ooh.
Hey, that sword there, that cut my hand. I dibs, and I'll like try to like pop the gemstone off of the shield and have a look at it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say perhaps we save that for our escape attempt here, but.
Now, what do you think I'm doing, man? I'm gonna need this if I'm gonna help us bust out of here. Trust me, I know what to do with this. I think, I got it.
You think we can pass that back and forth, or maybe find another one?
Yep.
Yeah, is there any on, like, the other ones in the hall?
Seems to be only the one.
Yeah, you just let me know when you need it, and I'll toss it to you.
Okay. Hopefully I won't. Most of my things I can make do with just, the hand signals and the magic words,
Yeah.
But there's a few of my more in case of emergency type things that would be very helpful. While we're going, I'm curious to see if there's any like mice or rats around. I assume not in the main levels, but I'm just going to keep my eye out as we go.
So you're all continuing to the young master's room.
We are. Yep. The young master's crying.
All right. So as you get closer to the corridor of which the young master is, you all begin to notice these shadows moving about the hallway. Rather naturally, like any other humanoid would, like looking around, examining the objects in the corridors. Quite odd.
Do they look like people or just figures going by?
Humanoid figures walking up and down the hallway, examining paintings, vases.
So when you say shadow, are they like
walking silhouettes? Is the best way I can put it.
Okay,
blurring in with the darkness, but they dissipate as the light gets closer and brought up to them.
Well,
point of reference, I've moved to the back of the line, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I guess my question: are they like 2D, like against the wall, or are they
3D?
Like, okay, so I don't like that. I like that less than the shadow. Okay. Is there anything I have that I could poke one with that is in my hand?
I mean, I'm sure you can find some.
My hand in my candelabra.
I'm gonna, not aggressively, but I'm gonna kind of see if they have any physical mass or physicality to them.
So as you reach out and you poke one of their shoulders, it kind of like jumps, like someone who's startled, and it reaches its hand over and like touches its shoulder and like pats it. And then it looks over, another one of the shadows responds. Walks over, and then they quickly move down the stairs.
Did they speak in the language we heard, or is it just kind of we saw their mouths moving?
It's just they looked over to another shadow. The shadow responded and walked over to them, and then they quickly both left.
I think they thought you were rude.
It seems so. If I see them again, I'll have to apologize.
You all begin to hear the sound of a crying baby.
Oh, the young master needs us. And I imagine it would help shed some light, perhaps, on what's going on around here if we were to meet him.
Indeed, or at least keep us out of trouble.
It sounds younger than I imagined.
Because there was the two twins, the eldest son,
And then the baby.
and then the baby. Yeah. Did we catch a name? I forget.
I got the two twins, George and Lynest.
No, I
baby
think George was the eldest son. Linus and Tyrion.
George
are the twins, and Princeton's the baby.
Princeton is the baby, yep.
Okay, Princeton. That's the one I forgot.
It's young Master Princeton that you're checking on.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to do these names phonetically, and they're all wrong.
Did I get the twins wrong, Salkos? Is it Lynest and the other one that are the twins? Or is it George and Lynest who are the twins?
I have George as the eldest son.
George is the oldest.
George is the oldest. The twins' names are Tyrion, Amelial, and Lynest Amelial. They're the twins.
How do you spell Tyrion?
Tirrin. Tyrion.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I spelled it T. I think it was like Tryan. That's how I had it, but that was wrong. All right, that's fixed. Unless okay.
I assume Lynest is the girl I saw earlier.
Mm-hmm. Girl with the doll.
Yep.
Come play with us, Danny. Forever and ever.
So, are you heading to?
We're heading to the nursery, and as we do, Whitford's going to kind of lag back of the line and just sort of walk beside JL Faizon for a moment, and one eye is going to kind of over at him.
I don't like it when you do that, Whitford. It's unsettling. How can I help you?
You see, I was evasive before when you asked me about the things I do. You see, parts of me was somewhat devoted to the practice of finding bad things, like what might be going on around this house. And other parts of me find you very familiar.
You find me familiar?
You wouldn't happen to have a father named Everett, would you?
Yeah. How do you know my father?
Is he well?
He's fine. He's back in the small town I come from, running the family general store. Him and my mother both.
Right where I left him.
All right, listen. You're a strange guy, Whitford, but I like that first part where you said you used to hunt down bad things. Okay, well, good. Now, I kind of make a living making people think that the house is full of bad things, and then I dress up like an old man, and I come in and I exercise the house, and then they pay me, but I ain't never been in no situation like this before. All right, this is a bit above my pay grade, so why don't you stick close to me, and yeah.
We'll make sure it will come out in the end, one way or the other.
All right.
One way.
And who is at the head of the pack?
Not me.
Are you scared?
I don't mind going at the front.
Okay. You begin to hear this as you get closer to the door, which is slightly cracked open. The crying stops.
I'll try to. I know I tend to make a fair amount of noise when I walk, so I'll try to go up to the door a little bit quieter, because if the little master fell asleep, I don't want to be the one that wakes him up. And open the door and try not to let it squeak as it opens.
Perhaps he's not hungry anymore.
You push open the door, and the first thing you notice is a splatter of blood immediately inside the room on the floor. And you kind of look across the moon shining in through the window, and you see Nanny sitting in the rocking chair with a veil across her face.
Is she holding the baby?
Not that you can see at this angle.
very quietly under my breath, I'll be like, well, looks like Nanny's got everything taken care of. I think we should head back downstairs now.
And Tristan goes, yeah, I think I left something in the library, so maybe we should.
Something
Not.
compels all of you to check. The young master, an innocent baby, could be in danger.
I'm not the brightest,
Okay.
so I'm just going to so I'm just going to keep walking in quietly over to, I assume there's a crib over to one side, and I guess I don't have to reach, just to peek in to see if it looks like the baby's there or not.
Do all of you follow?
Yes.
I hang out at the door, like in
Also,
the door frame.
I'm curious if there's a fireplace in here.
There is. A lot of these older houses all have fireplaces. They keep it warm and a variety of stuff. So as you all step into the room, one of you just barely in the doorway, hear the door slams behind you. And then in the corner on the changing table, a music box springs into action.
No.
No, thank you.
The nanny continues to sit in the corner, not moving.
Not moving. Okay, so she's not like rocking. She's just sitting still.
Music box? I don't want to wake up the baby.
So she's one of the staff?
What was that, Noslim?
If I can reach the music box, I want to like close it. I want it to be quiet. I don't want to wake up the baby.
All right. So you reach over and you close the music box, and immediately it stops. But then you get to hear the sound of crying.
Is the door locked behind me? Like, I'd like to try to be like, eh.
It's distorted.
The door is distorted.
You turn around. You turn around suddenly in this darkness, and you start to freak out. Like, I have to get out of here. And you begin to pull on the door. It is not budging.
I will then turn around, and the dice, my loaded dice that has light cast on it, I'll kind of like roll it into the center of the room to try to like light the whole place up. And I'll like press my back against the door.
The light goes into the middle room, lighting it up. It shines onto the nanny's face, revealing this hollowed husk, which immediately begins to collapse in on itself. And a variety of swarm of spiders just scatters out from under her dress and goes to a variety of the corner of the rooms. But then you guys begin to hear a scuttling noise. And you look up and see the young master crawling across the ceiling.
Nope.
And as it gets into the center of the room, it stops. And its head does a 180-degree turn. And it immediately vomits this black ichor. I need all of you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. We have this one.
20.
Hey, there we go. Got a
Oh my
24
god. My rolls. Oh, my rolls are so bad.
9. Ooh.
Oh, that picture of the baby.
Anybody who
Wow.
rolled less than 12, you are now considered frightened of the baby. And at this point, I need all of you for this session to roll initiative.
Bless.
All right.
How high are the ceilings? Like, how close is the
About
baby?
10 feet.
If
I don't have
you're
control of
using
my token, by the way, before
if you're using beyond 20, by the way, you need to select your token first and then
Who needs control of their
select your
token?
token.
Ascad.
Truck does. Select your token in roll 20 and then roll in D&D Beyond. And it'll go into the turn order.
Great.
7.
All right, Truck, you should have control. Who else needs control?
Ascad.
And you are the elf.
Dark Elf. Yes.
And is your name Ascad on here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Right, you have...
Can you add me to the initiative order? I have an issue with roll 20 and it doesn't let me add myself for some reason.
All right. What was your initiative roll?
It was 18.
18. Truck, you now have DM inspiration to use at your leisure.
Okay.
Courtesy of Chloe. All right. Does anybody else need to be added to the board and to control their token?
I can't get roll 20 up. I'm still having computer issues. I can't get it up on my phone.
Okay.
But I got a 22.
A 22 for...
Ooh, nice.
Nat 20.
All right.
Wait.
Also, I need all of you to make wisdom saves again. This one is for your sanity.
Oh,
And with
okay.
disadvantage, because that's terrifying as shit.
Crap.
Everyone is
Yeah.
Disadvantage.
Wow.
Ooh.
14. I assume it's still 15 to save.
It is 15 to
Three.
save this one.
Damn it.
Okay.
AB initiative. Never thought I would say those words in my life, but here we are.
Okay.
So if we didn't get a 15, we need to roll a d20
Yep.
for sanity.
Okay, I rolled a big 3, and I'm going to lose 18 points of sanity. Here we go, big fella. That's down to 30. Woohoo!
Oh,
Somebody
was 7.
needs some chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
dope.
All right. So, at the top of the initiative roll, we have Nosla, Moonhold. It is your turn. What would you like to do? Other than
Fine.
punt a baby across the room.
Would it be within my arm's reach just to grab it? I'm 6'3".
Your reach is 5 feet, so if you can get under it, you can grab it.
Where am I from it? Sorry, I just can't see it.
Demon baby.
Like, can I just walk to the center of the room and just grab the baby?
Yeah, go ahead and make a we'll do a sleight of hand check for this because it is a small little baby and it's like scuttling across the room.
Ooh.
Are you considered frightened? Did you fail your wisdom save for the fright?
The first floor or the second?
The first one. If you got lower than 12.
Oh, I did fine on that one. It was
Okay.
way over 20. Sorry, which check?
It was a wisdom check, but oh yeah, sorry, sleight of hand
No,
for the baby grabbing.
Sleight of hand. That's a 12.
That is not going to work. It's the DC was its armor class. Yeah. So you try to grab it and just like scuttles and like its head is turned 180 degrees and like crawling as it does so, like looking at you. That's how a baby laugh.
Was that my action or say a bonus action?
That would be your action.
Okay. And for bonus action, I will just call to the others. Help me catch this thing. And that's all I got.
Okay. It is now Abby's turn. It is going to run here. You can make an attack of opportunity if you want.
Ooh.
Punch it. Punch the baby. Oh man.
No slot. If you want to take an attack of opportunity, you can.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up here.
While she does that, it's going to detach from the ceiling, fall, and catch itself on all fours, and immediately launch itself towards Ascad. It's gonna attack. It's gonna open up its mouth wide. That tendril is gonna shoot out of it and like lash at you. So that is going to be a 18 to hit. Ascad, that's 18 to hit.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is.
think any of us are wearing armor.
All right, only one of you is.
Oh, that's brilliant.
All right. So you are going to take a total of 8 points plus 12 points of necrotic damage, and then your hit point maximum is now reduced by 6.
Ugh.
Oof.
And that
I
will
whiffed.
be.
I missed.
Oh, okay. And that will be Baby's turn. You watch as there's these 2 marionettes in the room.
Uh-oh.
First one springs to life. It is not that one's turn. That is going to take a needle out of its pocket, a little sewing needle, and it's going to scuttle over towards Ascad, since it's the closest. It's going to try to attack you with the silver needle. That is going to be a 14 to hit.
But it's.
All right, you are going to take 1 point of piercing damage. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Ugh. Yeah, write it down. Let's see. 15.
So that will succeed. You feel like something is trying to impose on your consciousness, but you shake it off and get a sense of clarity. That will be its turn. It's going to go over to Tressian with Scad on deck.
So, quick question: if we're doing anything spell-wise, if it's nothing that's like major, you need, we can cast it, or are we gonna need that little stone that
You
we
can
picked out?
cast it. I think we established that you get your spellcasting components because they're too hard to find.
Okay. Well, then Tressian is going to point over towards the baby, just behind, or like close to the wall behind the baby and the marionette, and he is going to. By the way, I apologize, guys. He's a bard, so I get to sing something at some point. He's gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern and sing, "Hush, little baby, you're really scary. Please don't attack us. This doesn't need to get hairy." And it has to make a Wisdom 14 saving throw.
Is this considered a charm?
Hypnotic pattern
Yeah.
is not. I don't think it
No, it is.
With an elf.
Okay.
The
It is.
baby is immune to being charmed.
What about the marionette? Because he would also see it.
It is also immune to being
False.
charmed.
Ooh.
Well,
No,
Good to know.
Tressian's just very uncomfortably going to start to back up and be like, well, that didn't work. Or his movement, he's going to go just back a couple steps and be like, "Fit." And I don't think I have any bonus actions I can do.
All right.
No.
Scott, it is your turn with JL on deck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna disengage from that. I don't like being anywhere near these things. And I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah.
The fuck away from that. And then I'm gonna use my action to use my Psychic Blade and hit
You
that thing from
disengage as a
range.
bonus action?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm a rogue.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, it says you're elf fighter. Anyway.
Yeah, I think I was gonna play that
Okay.
initially, but then
Okay. Go ahead. Do what you gotta do. What are you doing for your turn?
I'm gonna try to hit them with a 14.
Which one?
I'm gonna try the baby.
Maybe that will just hit.
Okay. Just for flavor, he pulls out that he had hidden in his coat, like this, just like the hilt of a blade. And as he draws it, like this purple psychic energy will flare from where the blade should be, and this wave of psychic energy will go out and attack the baby.
Okay. You guys are attacking children. Oh my gosh.
Non-lethally.
I tried to calm it.
So that's a 6.
Psychic blades.
All right,
Nice.
6 points of psychic damage on this baby. Sounds good. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right. JL.
Yes, sir. Can I see where the music box is?
The music box was right here on the stand.
Fantastic. So, since the door didn't work, I'm pretty panicked. I'm going to use my movement to go all 30 feet to kind of right behind Tressian. And then I'm going to use my action to cast Mage Hand to get the Mage Hand to open the music box again.
Okay. So
like, please shut up, baby. Please go back to sleep. Like, it's just like, and he sends out his Mage Hand to try to like pop the music box back open.
upon opening the music box, the eerie tune continues, and the baby begins to sway back and forth, and then lays down on the floor and starts to sleep.
Smart.
And that will end initiative.
Hmm.
Kill it now. Kill it now.
These marionettes are also stopped attacking.
The two, there's a second marionette. They shudder and then slump over as if their strings have just been cut.
That's odd. Oh.
What are we doing? Are we killing the baby? Clearly that thing is, what are we doing?
I don't want the parents angry at us, and I feel like trying to justify that it's demonic is not gonna fly with them.
You don't want the parents angry at us. You just saw that woman lick the blood off of my hand, right? I'm pretty sure they want to eat us. Never mind being mad at us.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Should we just bounce? Like, should we just bail?
Let's at least get rid of it. I'm uncomfortable, guys.
Yeah.
While they're talking, I'm just gonna go pick the baby up.
Okay, you
Don't
do
touch
that.
the thing.
and I need
Gently,
some
gently.
charcoal from the fireplace.
All right, you managed to get some charcoal, brother.
Man, you're so close to find familiar. It's a ritual I know very well.
Between the herbs that I got and the charcoal,
You just need some incense, baby. Just
You
some
need all
incense.
3.
Yeah, 10 gold pieces worth.
So what are you doing
Is
with the
it-
baby you just picked up?
I don't check that.
No, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna look at it for a second, because I kind of want to try to figure out how its head turned around like that. So I'm like, you know what? That's for another day, and then I'll go and put it down in its crib,
Okay.
tuck it in.
So
and-
as the baby lays down its crib, all of your vision once again begins to flicker. The boards become warped and cracked with gaps. The windows are broken, wind exposed, blowing through the air. Suddenly, the manor is not the pristine Amelial Manor that you entered. It is dilapidated, ancient, worn, abandoned.
Does it feel
Is it-
like?
Does it stay that way?
This time it
Like, does
stays. And you look
Does
at
it feel
the,
like
and now
we're
you're looking at the
seeing-
baby, and its face is blue, bloated. It has water dripping out of the corner of its mouth.
What?
Well, that explains how the head turns, I guess. Does it feel like we're seeing like what we saw before was fake, or does it seem like this is fake?
It seems like whatever illusion was taking over this home has suddenly been cleared and you have a sense of clarity as all of your sanity has dropped just enough to believe the unbelievable.
Oh dear.
Quite the fixer-upper, this place.
I
Yo,
think it's a little worse off than that.
Whitford, what the hell is going on, man? What is this place?
Well, before we were seeing things as they wanted us to see, it takes a lot of sanity to go along with that kind of image. But I imagine after the things we've seen, we're starting to get a bit of the truth poked out here and there. Cracks in the illusion. I think we should beat a hasty retreat, personally, if we'll be allowed to, even.
I don't like this. You know, it's kind of hard to fool a Fae with stuff like this. But I saw the same thing you guys did.
If whatever's going on here is confusing Faye and weirding out the guy who's been dead for however long, yeah, I think we should bounce.
Guys, I don't know if this will be of any help, but when down in the library earlier, I found a really weird old journal behind. Maybe we can go get it, and maybe there might be some answers about what's on in here.
Did you try to read it?
Well, I didn't get a chance to. The bell rung, but it was in Elvish. It was, but I might be able to do it. I might have to be able to read it if I go down. If I go down and look at it and focus on it.
Well, let me grab a pinch of soot from the fireplace here, and just in case, and I'll be able to read it for sure.
Okay.
Wait, I got a crazy idea. What if, because, like, clearly, probably, like, a bunch of the other serving staff we've been here with, they're not real either. What if the sound of that bell controls some stuff? Am I
Are you
crazy?
sure they're not real?
Oh, God, I hope they're not real. Because if they are,
Is
they're
there-
stuck here with us.
There's an awful lot of us that all showed up at once.
Well,
No,
we're
I
all
think
here.
We're all
Like,
real.
for the boat.
But, like, you know, all those, like, ladies' maids and stuff like that down there. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
put my
about them.
finger up to my lips, and I'm gonna gesture for everyone to leave the nursery. And we're just gonna. And as we exit, do we see any staff or hear anyone else in the house?
Make a perception check.
Okay,
Can I assist them on that, or listen in for myself?
Yeah, with advantage.
we're all listening.
And I
I got
need to
you.
find incense, so I'm looking all over the place for incense.
21.
So looking around, look down to the far end of the hallway at the very edge where these tall window panes are. Lightning flashes, and you see two young children holding hands, suddenly lit up, and then the room goes dark again, and the lightning flashes once more, and they're now 10 feet closer. We're
You
not
still got-
supposed to be up this late.
They say they are not supposed to, or we're not supposed
to be up this late.
I'd like to close my eyes and not look at the children. I'd like to be like,
The lightning flashes once more, and they're now 10 feet closer. They have red streaks across their throats. We must all rest and begin again, and again, and again.
Well, listen, children. We're gonna. You know what? You're right. We're gonna go down to the library, grab a book to go to bed, and then we won't stay up any longer. I promise.
The lightning flashes, and the children are gone.
Oh,
It worked. They went to bed.
okay. Okay. So
I look behind
like,
me.
I'll open my eyes. Are they gone? Are they gone?
They're gone.
I hate kids.
okay. Let's get out.
Not so bad when you get used to the smell.
Maybe get moving, guys.
I was gonna say.
I thought that was you.
Anyway. All right, let's go. I'll make sure I grab my dice. The one that has light cast on it, and I'm using it as my little...
If any of you guys see any incense around here...
Make an investigation check, Troc. So you all are heading down to the saloon to get to the library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess so. Again, as a point of order, I'm at the back.
Jesse, I guess he's gonna have to go front because he knows where the library is because he would have gone through it. So, okay, guys, this way, quickly.
As you get to the saloon, you do notice there is a incense burner hanging from one of the suits of armor. You do manage to find enough incense to cast Found Familiar, and that.
Cool.
But as you all make your way to the saloon into grand staircase, you see a form hanging from a rope, swaying back and forth, being illuminated by the light. It is the form of the housekeeper.
Oh.
Well, that looks like Madame Lever.
Yes. Done herself in.
The rope has tugged, and her vertebrae from her neck can be seen visibly sticking out from the skin, protruding, snapped from the impact. The form, like as it's swaying back and forth, slowly begins to like turn with each sway, rotating towards you. You just see hollow black holes in place of eyes.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, I like la 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 la.
Make another insanity saving throw. Wisdom.
Oh man.
I was going to say before you.
Everybody? I'm guessing.
Everybody has seen this.
Wow! I saved this time. I did it.
Use my inspiration.
Okay.
Which lets me re-roll, right?
Ooh, natural 20. Freaking.
Hey,
It lets you re-roll, yes.
Okay.
There it is.
Anyone who rolled lower than a 15 will need to subtract it from their sanity, as you just experienced the Cutthroat Twins and the Madame Lever.
So we take what we rolled as our sanity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Katrina and I both got nat 20s.
No, you do another d20 roll, I think, and then you take that off your sanity.
What is your current sanity total?
45.
45. All right. As you're walking throughout the house and you come to intersections of hallways and rooms, you just have this feeling that there's just something waiting around the corner every single time, ready to jump out at you. You start getting this sense of paranoia, this feeling in the back of your skull that creates anxiety and a headache. It's starting to break you.
It's alright, I'm a dark elf. I'm used to this. This is normal. I'm totally fine.
You make your way over to the library. These walls, the library. This room has vaulted ceilings and chandeliers. Of course, all the chandeliers are either tarnished and extinguished or just on the floor, and the broken tables. Since the manor has become its true self, the walls, the books are molded and turned to dust, covered in cobwebs. Whether a moth has gotten to them or just, the elements from the hole in the roof, letting the moonlight in.
No sign of stuff so far?
No.
No sign of anyone? No sign of any other living soul?
No, just shadows occasionally walking throughout the manor.
These shadows that we keep seeing, does it seem like because they were present whenever we still had that illusion on us of the nicer place, and they reacted weirdly when one of them got poked. Does it feel like because I'm also a fey creature, does it seem like it might be another dimension? Does it seem
make an Arcana check.
Right past the thin veil? Just a little bit too close to here. 19.
They hear the barrier between certain dimensions is particularly thin, creating an almost diluted mirror look on what is on the other side. These shadows are from a different plane that shares the same space as yours.
With that in mind, can I reach out my telepathic mind and try to talk to one of them?
Dope.
You can try. You can always try.
So I'll find like one kind of individual shadow. I'll be like, not like telekinetically or telepathically. I'll be like, excuse me, can you see me? Because I can see you. Hello, anybody there?
The shadow that seems to be like looking through the library, like suddenly its head like looks up and looks around. It doesn't respond, but it's looking around for a voice, and then it there's a group of other shadows that like it motions for them to all come over, and they begin to hold hands and stand in a circle.
No, it's okay. I'm friendly. I think I might just be a little bit trapped, kind of on the other side of the dimension door, if you will. We're in a spooky place that we thought was called Amelial Manor. Is that where you all are?
Shaky and distorted, you hear a voice. Can we help you?
Yeah, that'd be great. We are trapped on this side of the dimension. Can you bring us out the other side?
So, you're starting to figure things out. From the entrance of the South Library is Lady Amelial standing there.
I'll whip around and I'll look at her. Just go. And I won't say anything. I'll just be like I just got caught with my hand in the cookie jar.
She has the same black stained tears from her nose and her eyes as her husband did. Also coming from her ears. Her clothing is tattered, her face gaunt and pale.
Are you quite all right, my lady? Up past your bedtime, aren't you?
I feel fine.
While this is happening, Tressian's like run over to where that book was. Is that leather-bound book still there? That journal?
It is. It is.
Okay. He's gonna take it. Weird interactions happening, and he's gonna cast comprehend language on it, on himself, with a little bit of that salt from his pocket, so he can read
You want some soot? I got some soot and salt
You don't
for the same
understand.
thing.
This has happened so many times. Over and over. You must rest and restart. So the comprehend language is the book. Let me go ahead and get my notes. The book is the journal of Frederick Amelial. Quickly, like looking through this, make an intelligence check to see how much you can discern from this book while this conversation is happening.
Can I
While they're
help him
conversing-
since I had the same idea for the comprehend language?
You can do it with advantage.
Well, I got to roll an 18 or a 2, so we'll go with 18.
18. The book describes that Frederick Amelial believes that his wife has had an affair at the beginning of their marriage with the butler, explaining why they all have black curly hair and his eldest son blonde with blue eyes, making his eldest son illegitimate.
So that's what I read from the journal.
Yeah, that's the gist you get from it.
Okay.
That's gonna be a big yikes for me, dog.
Are we still all connected? Most of us connected telepathically, or is that over?
That would be over by now.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of look at Tressian's gonna look and be like, guys, there's some fucked up stuff going on, and I don't just mean the creepy people.
Yeah, Tressian, bud.
You
Way
must
ahead of you.
rest and try again. You must rest and try again.
You must rest and try again.
No, don't like that. While she's freaking out over there, doing whatever she's doing, can I go back over that secret passage and try to open it?
Yeah, you can definitely try to do that. Is anybody trying to do anything to distract Lady Amelial?
Yeah.
I will use how far away is she roughly from where JL is at the back of the group?
She is about 60 feet away, but her voice is echoing around the room.
Bummer. Prestidigitation only has a reach of 10 feet. Or a range of 10 feet, I should say.
I'll approach her.
I think I'm just following a Scod, honestly. Like, if I see a Scod scamper to go do something, like, me and I'm with him.
Can I, you know what, can Tressian's gonna try, he's gonna look behind her, he's gonna try and cast my illusion, and am I able to create the sound, because I've heard the butler talk, could I, like, try and make him say her name behind her?
Make a deception check with advantage. Who's trying to open up the secret passage?
It's a Scott.
Alright, go ahead and you go over to the door, the wall. There's definitely something, there's a draft. You don't know where the switch is because you never found it. Make an investigation check. What was your deception check with advantage?
24.
24. She turns around, she goes, my love? And her form dissipates into smoke and whisks over to, whatever.
So wait.
I would like to take a cue from that, and because it's only verbal and somatic, I have 1 use per long rest of disguise self, and I would like to make myself look like the Lord.
The Lord Amelial? Weren't you imitating the butler?
That's what I was.
Whoever. Oh, that's. Sorry, I didn't hear correctly. Yeah, I'll look like him.
Okay.
I'm going to be a little bit tall, maybe, but.
Okay.
Well, she just left. I got her to leave the area, I think, with the call, so she's off looking for him right now. So I don't know if you want to bring her back in.
What was your investigation check, by the way?
Just in case she comes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awfully tall for a lord.
You can go like a foot shorter.
Okay. So they went and found a secret passage.
Mm-hmm. What was your investigation check?
22 total. I used this eyeball or knack to roll an extra 4 on top of an 18.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to find a statue on the bookshelf that is holding the books in place, and you kind of push back the head of the statue, and there's a clicking sound. The bookshelf sinks back and slides over, revealing the staircase going down.
Can I search kind of like where the bookshelf slid over, like that kind of threshold where one would step over? Can I search the ground quickly for looking for like traps or anything?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Well, I'll try. Hi, 18. There you go. With +0, roll a natty 18.
Doesn't appear to be trapped, but you do find a piece of chocolate.
Oh my god, I scarf it down immediately.
Roll a d20 and add it back to your sanity.
I'm like, oh, a piece of candy. Oh, 19. Yes, sir.
That is
Back up
good
to
chocolate.
back up to 49. Whoop whoop.
Mm-mm.
God,
Got the salty caramel in there. Got the.
I love floor chocolate.
So you lose your fear of darkness.
Oof. Okay, great.
It's just a spiral staircase leading down.
Down, you say.
Further down.
I'll stand in front of it so it's not to try to like hide that it's open. But could I like hold an action that if things go down, I'll shout out that the secret passage is open.
Okay.
And where do you suppose it goes?
I don't know. I kind of think anywhere might be better than here. But-
Does anybody have any idea about what she means by you gotta rest and try again? Like, if we fall asleep here, are we gonna die? Like, or does she mean it? Like, is that a promise? Like, if we go to sleep and then try again in the morning, maybe things will be different.
She said this keeps happening. Did we miss something that would change the outcome?
Shit. And I'll like turn to a Scott. I'll be like, yo, that thing that happened in the pantry. What if we had done something about that? And like, you know, Mr. Butler man didn't die.
That's a good point. If she means that things are resetting, then changing the outcome might be the way to break it, the cycle.
Yeah. So we should all try to remember about all the crazy stuff that happened today before we go to sleep and see if we can, you know, keep an eye out for that kind of stuff if it does indeed reset.
You guys want to sleep here?
I would say if we have no choice, but I think if we have a chance to escape, I shall leave these people to their whatever this is.
I don't know. What do you think, Whitford? What do you think, Ms. Moonhold?
You think there might be some kind of passage down there that leads out of this house? Doubtful. But at the bottom of that cellar, whatever is down there, I suspect lies the heart of the mystery here. And isn't that worth pursuing?
I myself, I want to find out what's going on. I want to know how they're doing all this. This is pretty neat, but I'm not going to sleep here.
Oh no.
Is there anything of value in the library that isn't nailed down? Like, does there look to be like...
Yeah, so it's actually the passageway is actually in a hollowed out room. There are a number of locked cases in this room. I
would like to feel around.
Yeah, make an investigation check with advantage.
Okay.
Items of interest.
23.
Oh, nice.
23. What you find in this room is a vial of midnight tears. You find the last will and testament of Gregory Amelial.
Gregory.
Along with a pendant. The pendant has a gold chain with some runes inscribed on the inside of the gemstone.
Oh, Whitford, what'd you find? Anything good?
Some paperwork. A mysterious vial. Could be something tasty. And this old thing. And I hold up the pendant. It's like beautiful gold chain with like ruins and stuff. Could be something, could be nothing.
When he holds up the pendant, just in his own head, JL is going to be like,
Hey, you, Mr. Pendant. You sentient?
There's no response.
okay.
Hey,
So I don't think anybody would notice that he did that, but
Yeah.
No.
I'll look at the vein popping in the back on the side of his head.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah,
hey,
it's good. It's good.
you
That's
good?
it, is it?
Did you recognize?
Just looks like you went quiet.
Would the glyphs be considered a written language, or is it its thing?
Does anybody speak
Yeah, did you
Infernal?
recognize them? Damn it.
Infernal.
Oh, I'm
Just deep speech.
saying.
Well, not normally, but
Some of it's all.
we cast
Like-
comprehend languages earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was
It
gonna ask.
lasts an hour.
Oh, that works. The
Damn.
the infernal rooms are just one word. This spotter.
Spotter?
Spotter? Like, Tress, you can look at it and be like, it says spotter on the back, guys. I'm not sure what that means, but
I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I'll figure it out.
How do you spell it?
Can you type it?
Diater. Need does somebody want to make a religion check?
Sure, I could do that.
Love to.
And
I
you
could-
can also read the Last Will and Testament with your comprehend languages if you want.
it's got a natural
21.
23.
Yeah. I'll be pouring over this last roll.
The spotter is a archdevil of the Nine Hells.
Spotter.
They in particular have sway over people who gain power through secrets and influence exerted via blackmail and control people and organizations through knowledge of their weaknesses and shames.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Okay.
Do you read the Last Will and Testament?
Yes.
Here lies the last word of Gregory Amelial. I have learned of my mother's treachery and my illegitimate birthright. My supposed father killed my actual father and planned on removing me from my inheritance. I had no choice. In the night, right before their evening tea, I slipped both of my parents to midnight's tears, and at the stroke of midnight, it took their lives. I took the dagger of onyx glass, and I killed my brother and sister, and then I moved on to the staff. And using the voice that guided me through all this, I took my baby brother to the altar and gave him as a gift. And then I took my own life. Well, it says I'll plan on taking his own life. But that's the gist of it.
Wow. That's what we'd call in my family a spicy meatball. That's crazy.
Do they still call it that? A spicy meatball?
It's a metaphor, Whitford. Don't worry yourself too much about it. But that's some real family trauma packed into one will and testament. I'll tell you what.
I suppose this will be the midnight tears. I'll hold up the vial of whatever it is, the black liquid.
So does that mean we gotta find this altar and do something with that, or?
But this, I mean, there's still poison in this vial. So is this just another vial, or?
Oh yeah. Hey, if we were still working on this assumption that things are gonna reset and we're gonna have to do this all over again, maybe we gotta put the vial of midnight tears like on Gregory's food, so that he can't do the rest of the stuff he wants to do. And maybe that stops the whole process, right? I don't know.
Who served him earlier?
I did.
Well, if the restart happens somehow, and you had that with you, you could, but it takes till midnight. When did he kill when did he kill Worm's body? Whatever his name is, Worm.
His parents.
Okay, I think what he did, I think he probably poisoned his parents over dinner. And then after dinner, the Lord Amelial guy killed the butler, Mr. Mortwood, Gregory's real father. And then, damn, what happened after that? And then he killed the baby. No, he killed the twins.
Brother and sister, yeah.
He killed the brothers because he went buck wild and killed everybody.
And then he killed the baby. That was the last thing he did.
He killed the
Well, he
baby last.
sacrificed the
Before
baby.
himself.
Last, I think, guys.
Right. He killed himself last. That's a good catch. Yeah.
Can I study the poison a little bit and think if I've heard of it?
Yeah, make a nature check.
Okay. 15.
Midnight Tears is a really difficult poison to make because it's not only using poisonous materials, but also takes a little bit of magic to it. Midnight Tears is a poison that strikes its victim whenever it's consumed. It will always take effect at midnight after its consumption. It results in hemorrhaging of the brain, resulting in a black ichor-like substance bleeding from your orifices in your skull.
Guys, there's a reason that it's called Midnight Tears.
It's a potion with a sense of drama.
Yeah. You remember how the Lord and Lady of the house looked like they were crying black tears? That was because of this poison. But you don't know anything happens until right at the point at midnight where it takes effect.
So it's like a delayed release type of thing.
Do we need to keep the butler alive till midnight?
I think we gotta somehow figure out a way.
Sounds like it. Maybe we can get him out of here.
Okay, now this might sound wild. Your sleeping theory confuses me, but if we decide to do that, I can cast a thing called Tiny Hut for 8 hours that we can all sleep in safely, I think.
Man, my wizard buddy knows that spell. It's so fucking useful. I love that spell.
Stay in the staff quarters or where we think it's safe. We can spend the night, see if everything resets, and then try and pull this off tomorrow.
Begging your pardon, but isn't anyone interested in that altar down there?
Oh yeah, I mentioned that. I forgot. I'm too caught up in this crazy conspiracy of sleeping.
There's an altar and a foul voice, and likely something watching us. Anything that we decide to plan out, likely it already knows what we're about to do. Least we could do is go down and say hello.
What if the tears, if we put it on the altar, it'll do like the opposite, because we're putting a poison on as opposed to a sacrifice.
Worth a try. Can't hurt. I mean, getting rid of it either way is probably the best option for us.
Maybe. I don't know. It's got kind of a magic to it, but what would putting poison on a inanimate object do?
I don't know, man. I'm just thinking. What about that dagger? Would that be important? An obsidian dagger?
Onyx flask.
Onyx.
Do you see anything like that, DM, around?
Like in one of the statues, maybe?
No.
Isn't onyx really fragile? Why would you want a knife that could break like that?
Ceremonial. Doubtless it was made with something like that in mind. Something nefarious. There are ways of magically empowering blades. Do it all the time.
We've all clearly... Go ahead, Master.
Where did you find that poison? The midnight tears.
I'll point down at the the place where I found it, which is presumably one of the chests that were lining this,
the glass
this
case.
area.
It seems that Gregory put all of the items, his last will and testament, the midnight tears, and the pendant, all within a case for someone to find it someday.
Okay.
But no sign of the dagger.
It sounds like he's just as trapped as anybody else.
It's possible.
Maybe, but Gregory did say that he took his own life with the dagger down by the altar, right? So he probably dropped it there. But Whitford, if you're saying we should go down there and say hello, what's your plan?
No plan.
What if it's something like we take the pendant and we destroy it on the altar?
That has potential.
Do we know what kind of altar it is?
We could go down and find out.
And then we plan.
So I'll whip my loaded dice back out again, and I'll cast light, and I'll kind of hold it above me. But again, I ain't going first. I'm like at the back, holding up the flashlight so that everybody can see down the hall, the stairway.
I'm gonna take out the carving knife that I got from the kitchen, and I'm gonna run the blade just gently down my wrist, and there's gonna be this sort of black blood just sort of running down it. And I'm going to take a d6 of damage. And as I do so, the knife will start to glow a bright light for about 20 feet, all the way around me.
Okay.
And I've just cast Crimson Ray, the red of the dawn.
So like before the blade starts to glow, I would have been like, Whitford, buddy, no, I know this place is depressing, but and then boom, like I'd be like, oh,
well, that was weird. All right then.
All right, so you all begin to descend down the staircase, holding up your two things of light, and you come into a circular chamber with red tile and pillars supporting the room, and on the far end there's an altar.
What does it look like?
So you have returned.
What?
Again and again.
Wait.
Is that the lady's voice?
It's a man's voice. Formless.
Sure. Gregory, would you be Gregory then?
Oh, how similar this and redundant this has become. Think.
At that point I'll hold up the amulet and look at the writing on the back. Could you remind me again of what was written on the Distopper or the
spotter? It's the name of the archdevil.
Name of the. I put it in
spotter.
the real 20 chat.
Oh, great.
Would you happen to be this spotter?
That is correct.
Oh, well, hey, how you doing? We're totally here by accident, by the way.
Are you?
Oh, well, now that you put it that way.
DM, what do we see around this room?
Make a perception check.
Yeah. 20. A
20.
dirty 20.
There are, the pillars, the red tile. There is a black dagger on the obelisk with a mummified corpse that's very small, could fit into your hand, not into your, like, onto your arm.
It's a very small corpse.
Yes. You hear the voice. Think back to where this all began.
When we got a letter?
Oh no.
Out of the bridge.
Did you make it out that day?
We just about did.
Apparently hearing this voice like echo into your brain asking you these questions. You think back. You tried to save your friends. You were not successful. They pulled you down with them and you fell down with the coachman. At the striking of the clock on midnight, the shadows suddenly become people dressed in familiar clothing, but much more modern. Ghost hunters Your vision fades as it turns blue, and your forms do as well. You find yourselves in a fog-covered forest, obscured with the thick, sweet smelling, creating shapeless forms dancing across the woods. And that is where our story begins, again. And that will conclude the Amelial Manor.
Oh, snap. It's like the others. We were the dead ones all along. Man, I love that movie.
My poor sprite boy who I was supposed to mentor.
So, everybody, that will conclude the Amelial Manor for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would like to give a shout out to the artist who created all of the portraits this evening for us. Starving Artist truly outdid herself. Absolutely. Be sure to join our Discord and commission her for your own portraits for your at-home campaigns. And thank you to Midnight Syndicate and the Victor Brothers for providing us with all this amazing music that really set the mood as well. Guest role players, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope that you had just as much fun as I did putting this together for you. Oh, I have chills.
It was a blast. That was a blast.
So
Thank you, Falcos.
So,
Yeah, thank you,
to all
man.
you. Well done. Well done. And we will see you in 2 weeks here at twitch.tv/PrestigeGC as we continue with session 82 of Prestige Encounters. Until then, everybody, bye.
Bye.